Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Bree, you at the top, baby girl, all week long, yo. I love it. Yo, stayed in that top spot all week. What's up? How you doing? How you feeling today, man? Happy Friday. Hey, Ania, good morning. Hey, Coach Johnson, good morning. Keon, what's up? Good morning. There she go. Hey, yo. Miss Simone, good morning.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yo, I'm loving that hoodie.
It's the best. This gets you right every time. Okay.
Yo, every single time. Hot, hot smile. Yo,
I know. It's all I know.
already. Yo, I'm so glad that you here, yo, because yesterday I was no good without you, y'all.
Miss Joni, no, you
I,
held it down.
yo, barely,
Post
yo.
a video.
Yo, barely, yo. First of all, they was jumping all on my back because I didn't start the live 5 of. I started it at like 2 minutes of. So everybody was like, "You late, you late, you late." I like, yo. First of all, I'm stressed out. Wait till y'all. I said, wait till y'all see my pain.
Miss Joni, not wait till you see.
I said, wait till y'all see my pain. And then as soon as I pulled that video, then I started getting a little bit of empathy and
Empathy,
sympathy.
right?
Then they was like, all right, Miss Joni, you right. I got you, yo. I got you. We hurt too.
Love y'all so much.
Yo, we can't start without you, yo. We can't. It ain't right.
I know. It was really bad. I wish this wasn't online, but I was not well during my meeting. I was like, okay, you gotta persist and keep pushing. And it was really nice, but I kept looking at the clock like I gotta go. I gotta get on my
Right?
to see my baby.
Yo, I know, yo.
Any
Yo,
questions? I'm like, they better not ask any questions on this call.
yo, you wasn't smiling, Miss Simone.
No, I was. I was like,
You had the fake smile on. Don't put her with the fake smile.
it was good though. It was really, really nice. So, but I missed y'all, and I'm glad to be. This is gonna get my day right. This is how we do
Yes.
it. This is how.
Yes. Thank you. So, yo, guess who been holding down this top spot all week, yo?
Ooh,
Bree, yo.
I was just Bree. Come
Yo,
on, girl.
Bree been in the top spot all week since like last Friday, yo. That,
Yes, Bree. See,
yo,
what time you get up? 4 o'clock.
exactly. Yo, she be out here, yo.
You got that copy paste ready, don't you, baby?
Yo, she got it, yo. No typos and nothing. Just a straight good morning.
I am here and first in line.
Yes, yo. I love it.
To the drive. You think she could do the drive through? Because I need some breakfast today. Are Corey and Q on
Yeah.
for the eggs and bacon?
I don't even know. We gotta check on her. I don't even know. But yeah, Bree gonna have to be in a drive through, yo. She at the first window, yo.
You made it,
Yo.
Bree. Keep
Yeah,
it up.
yo. She made it, yo. Yo. Not only is she taking money, she taking orders too, yo.
Two
Yeah. Yeah. Yo,
Tony.
yeah.
Wait, Tony. Oh,
It's done, yo. She promoted.
that's next level.
That's next level, yo. That's
Bree. That
that's when you got the joint in your ear. Hi, what was it? Can I help you? And you taking the money, yo. Like, thank you, 712, counting out the check, yo.
we're opening up a restaurant. I'm not playing with you. We will take the city over. Have all the babies in the drive-through, and it's gonna be nice.
Yo, you is crazy. Yo, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, where was we at? Was we on Keon? Good morning, Keon.
How are you?
Breezy Breeze, good morning. Chaos Smoothies, what's up? Good morning. Ayla Mall, Wavy Wave, good morning.
Hey, baby.
My man Sam is here, y'all. Good
Hey,
morning,
Sam.
Sam. Booski Show, what's up? Happy Friday, good morning. Yo, Missouri been rocking, y'all.
I know. Missouri, shout out to you. Shout out to you. And I heard you do poetry too. We're going to get you up here. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's amazing. Good morning, Missouri. Hey, Lene, good morning.
Hey, oh, my girl. Did she fix that email?
She fixed that email, yo. And she apologized to the teacher and everything, yo.
I'm proud of you, Lene. That's
Growth, yo. Yes, I'm proud of her too, yo. Growth. Hey, Ari, good morning. What's up? Angel, good morning.
Hey.
Jamira, yo.
Yeah.
They did a good job yesterday, yo.
When
they
I
did
it was
Mira don't come to play with nobody.
Never.
Yo.
Right. I was over here like, yeah.
Yo.
Ask the questions.
Mira came locked and loaded. You heard me. She was, yo, I had a hole in my kneecap. Listening to that, I was like, "Ouch, she got me." Yo,
man down.
He did not come to play, yo. Good job. Good job. Yes, her and Kamaya's success session did an amazing job. Hey, Q, good morning. You take care of our girl, man.
I know. You see how the devil Corey and Jada did.
Right. Yo, we can't never had nobody die on a success session. That was not cool.
Yeah. I was like, yo, shut it down. We gotta go get Corey. Shut it all down.
Shut it all down. Yo.
HeartSmiles at the door.
Yo, right? Crazy. Hey, Ma. Good morning, Ma. Yo, my mother be up in here, y'all.
Can you come on a success session, Miss?
Hey, yo, chill.
Why? I want her on here. Miss Sherry is okay.
Are you for real, yo?
Absolutely. Now that is how you talk generational blessings, starting from the head to you. That would be powerful. All right. All right. Put some hearts if you want.
Hey, yo, what you do?
Put some hearts if you want it. Okay, we gotta give them what they want, Miss Jody.
You is crazy. You
just apologize, please. I don't want to get in trouble. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We need you. Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yo,
you up there? Do you see any hearts?
Yeah, just a few. They ain't red though. They green, so they the fake hearts.
No. Put a red heart. Red heart.
Yo, that is crazy. Oh man, now they coming. Thanks a lot, Miss Simone.
Shower down. Okay.
Y'all know my mother is like Jesus' little sister in real life.
Actually, and we need that. Or maybe
hey y'all, I don't know.
We have some. We're gonna talk this shit. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but we need you.
Yo, I'm trying to tell y'all, my mother will get on here and shut it down. Y'all think I shut it down? She even will shut it down. Yo, she be getting like 2,000 retweets. Yo.
Are you serious? Oh, you popping for real?
She popping on Twitter, yo. She popping on
Twitter is the truth. I said if there's one, I'm about to get Twitter. You gotta follow me. I'm about to be retweeting your stuff all the time. Oh my gosh.
Yo, y'all is crazy. Hey, Isis, good morning. Jada, good morning. Ma the general, y'all the manager here. Y'all better straighten up.
Let me act right. I love you, Ma.
Amaya Murillo, what's up? Good morning. John, baby Barack.
Oh no, I got beef with John.
You got what?
John is calling me freeze face, and as much as I want to not laugh, I can't help it.
Yo,
not freeze face.
He did play you, yo. He called you freeze face, and then he called somebody else 3.0 version. I was dead, yo.
I'm like, baby Barack, you can't be this funny.
Yo,
Can't be.
baby Barack is a, and then he got a nerve to be on here talking about something. He want a HeartSmiles hoodie.
Oh, baby.
I know. Yo, and Ted talking about she want her HeartSmiles cup.
I know. And I
General, like he want a HeartSmiles shirt. Yo, what is going on?
I heard we had stickers. I want a HeartSmiles sticker. We just need a whole collection.
All right. We work on it. We gonna work on it, man. Yo, my man's YND Chubbs, y'all. He here. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy
He new,
Friday.
y'all. This is first success session.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Please show him some love, y'all. YND Chubbs. This is first success session. He been following us on Instagram for a little bit. But like I told him, like, yo, you gotta be on success sessions. Are you really serious about getting on your feet? You really serious about growing and learning and being around other positive people? This way you gotta be.
Yes, you've come to the right place. And Chubb, what is it? You come to the right place, baby.
Yo, y'all is crazy. Yo, please make sure y'all love up on my man's. He's a good kid, y'all. He a good kid. Hey, Federal K, what's up? Good morning. Yo, Jada gonna say, oh, she need a promotion.
You've been working, Jada.
Jada has been working. You know what, Jada? We're gonna take you off of maintenance. You go not the front line just yet. We're gonna put you on fries. You want fries and hash browns. That's important.
Jada.
Yo, and did you know you gotta make a M with the salt, but in this case you gotta make a heart with the salt.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Jada got her promotion.
That is key because the fries and the hash browns are crucial. We trust you.
Absolutely. Yo, make sure y'all order y'all smoothies. Today is the day to order your smoothies from Chaos Smoothies, your immunity smoothies. Anybody on here, if you haven't had a smoothie and you curious about getting a smoothie, yo, I'll buy you a smoothie, y'all. Only for right now. This offer is only good for 5 minutes. So however many orders you get in these 5 minutes, Chaos Smoothies, those orders are going to be on me for people who haven't had a smoothie and you want to try one. That's how much I believe in the product, y'all. Y'all going to love it. Y'all going to love it.
That immunity smoothie, it hits different.
It do. And especially in Rona, you need it. And I see Angel, shout out to you. Angel says she's selling popsicles today.
Awesome. Angel,
okay.
Wanting a popsicle the other day. I was like,
for real? How we buy a popsicle? I need to buy Miss Simone a popsicle. Tell us how we buy a popsicle. Let's get our popsicle popping.
Let's get the
popsicle popping. Ha!
I'm about to create you a little jingle, a little commercial.
Right.
My popsicle's popping. My popsicle's
hey. Yo, Miss Simone, I'm not even gonna lie to you, y'all. I'm definitely having a great day, but I'm mad a little bit.
What happened, Miss Stoney? What happened?
Can I vent real quick, Miss Simone?
Come on.
Because this just be getting on my nerves. So we got opportunities right now. Door opened up, right? John Hopkins Institute, right? Permanent positions, y'all. The type of positions to where as though you can make money to really support yourself, really support your family, right? The people we broke our back for to get this door open, y'all, can't even pass a drug test. Miss Simone, I'm mad, y'all. I'm mad. I don't get it. And if somebody can help me understand this, I don't get it. I got plenty of friends. Now, I don't smoke, drink, or none of that stuff. I got plenty of friends who do that type of stuff. But nobody does that stuff when they're not established.
Yeah.
Like nobody does that stuff when they're not established. Like if you want to be confined to minimum wage jobs, fine, do you. But if you already know that you want better and you want to do more, you have an obligation to just at minimum keep yourself clean. Can't nobody keep going through that crap of, oh, we need a whole month or we need, all these weeks just so you can get clean. Like, why can't you just stay clean until you get the way it is that you want to be and you can afford to have those type of habits? I just don't get it, man.
It's Miss Domi. This is something I hear way too often, and it breaks my heart because when I say, like you said, people be out here fighting for y'all to get these positions. There are people that would love to slam the door in your face, and so when these doors open and we're like, "Yes, come on through to the other side," and then you're the one who trips yourself up, it's the worst.
Miss
And
Simone.
yeah, yeah. And there's, oh Jesus, this is not good for a live. This is a personal discussion.
Yo, but it made me so mad, yo. It just makes me so angry. And I'm just like, it's not that they not good kids or they not good people. Like, yeah, they're good people, but it's just all like, yo, at some point, you just gotta say, look, is this habit hurting me or helping me? And if this habit is hurting you, then leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I'm not even one to preach about, how it's killing your brain cells and bad for you. I don't care about none of that. I care about you being able to take care of yourself. Like, yo, that's what I care about. I care about you being able to take care. Like, for me, that's like the priority. Because even like I said, like I got friends and stuff that do that stuff, but they bosses.
Yeah.
They can go to the Bahamas and do all that stuff. They go on a trip to Paris to do that type of stuff. You don't see them doing that type of stuff in the midst of them working on themselves, building their business, doing whatever it is they do. Like they straight bosses. You don't get to do stuff like that, and you ain't no boss. Yo, it's just crazy, yo.
Dropping jewels, dropping jewels. And I know, y'all, a lot of people use that to cope with things, but Miss Mo and Maya, the poet, had a really good session the other day about cycles. And all you're doing is just continuing to get yourself in that never ending cycle. The same problems that are stressing you out while you want to smoke the weed is because you can't get a job, you can't sustain yourself, you can't do that, you smoke the weed, you can't do this, you smoke the weed, you can't, you got to break out of it. Just give your and do it as a competition, as a test. Ask for help if you need it. Like, you don't have to cope. That's not the only way to do it. And please wait till you're a boss. Don't let these celebrities and all these people who made it, they can smoke all the weed all they want. You can't do that yet. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yo, and Ma said it too. And it affects everybody else from getting a job from HeartSmiles. It would have, but not no more, because I cut it off at the head. We have a great relationship with Hopkins. Our kids can basically get anything they want from Hopkins. You associated with us, you can go to school at Hopkins for free. You can
Yeah.
get a job at Hopkins without having to go through every single step. But I'm not going to abuse that. So for us now, we're in a predicament where we might just have to give those opportunities to somebody else, because you're not about to go out here and embarrass us and make us look non-credible. Then they're going to say, oh no, don't go get no kids from HeartSmiles because they send over junkies. They send over the people that get high. They send over the people that can't pass a drug test. And I'm not saying that our kids are junkies. I love them to death and all that. But for people that don't know you, that's what they want to classify you as. And that's the box that they want to put you in. It just ain't worth it, y'all. It
I
just ain't worth it.
I agree. Please if you need ways to cope, if you need help breaking out of this, please ask for help cuz
Please, y'all.
it's not cute. You got to stop, y'all. Too many opportunities. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, this is amazing, Miss Jones. We have people. Josh Sharfstein is like the head man. We had the
The
lieutenant
head.
governor. Like the kind of people that y'all are getting exposed to, and y'all are doing good too. The way you represent yourself when these people come on, the questions you ask, how powerful it is. Don't let all this good stuff go away for a little blunt.
Right?
Little blunt. And okay, Miss Joni, should we get into the topics today?
Yo, yes, yo, please do.
Oh,
And ISIS is ordered. Yo, she caught that free education. She said, I love a free education. Yup, school for free. Yo, we got those opportunities. God connect you with Miss Sushma. And as a matter of fact, my team, I don't know who works, them or me. They said they're not taking off Memorial Day. So
oh yeah.
all next week is all about college and career. So we can get into that too next week if that's something you're interested in. We on it.
Next week is gonna be really good, y'all. I'm gonna shut up before we get, but next week is gonna be great. So please, please show up. Let's get it popping. And let's see. All right, we have an icebreaker towards the end. Sorry, Mar, because it's getting late. Mar came up with a really nice icebreaker that I like. It's a little funny, cool, cute. But we're gonna get into this just a little bit because we're already at part 2.5 since I had freeze face the last time, and and we didn't finish up. And I really don't want to belabor this too much longer. I want y'all to get these tips, and we can keep it pushing. So this is we'll do a little recap since we had some technical difficulties, but today we're mostly going to focus on how to give feedback. Because I know a lot of you guys said the reason you don't like to receive feedback is because people don't know how to say it right and it's just rude and just comes off. So today we're going to give some tips for that. And also just recap some really good questions that you guys had, like how can you tell the difference between criticism and feedback, right? So just a quick, criticism is usually always negative and judgmental. Like there's nothing positive that they'll say. It's just all bad, bad, bad. They'll make generalizations instead of being specific about the behavior that maybe they don't like. They'll just try to attack your character. Like this is who you are and you always do this and you always do that. Like that's not really helpful without giving some either specifics in there, like some examples or some kind of positives to say you always do this, but I can see you doing that, but you need to do more of this. They don't offer any advice or support. It's just all negative. And like I said, it's personal. They're attacking your character and they're not addressing the situation. Whereas feedback is the opposite. They're being specific with some of the positive and negatives. They're going to offer support and advice, suggestions, personal stories about how they've overcome stuff and how you can do that too. And they focus on those behaviors. Okay, so we also talked about how to accept positive feedback, which is like compliments, which is this is like really something I'm working on too. Just how to be okay with receiving that some people might have good things to say about me and that, you know, sometimes I'm doing a good job. So we said, just say thank you. Don't try to shy away, just be appreciative. And when it says make it personal, it's just like, thank you, that really meant a lot to me. Or thank you, I've worked really hard for this. Or thank you, that made my day. Just something like that where you can address it and tell people how it made you feel. Don't be the person that's like, no, 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 I'm not this, I'm not that. And also don't be the person who's like, oh, well, thank you so much. You're beautiful too. And you're smart too. And you're like, it's okay. We don't have to go back and forth. Thank you. Tell them how it made you feel. And then the last one is just enjoy your moment. Because I know for me, there's a lot of times where as soon as I get some negative feedback, oh, I will sit in it and I want to talk about it and I want to get somebody's opinion and all this stuff. And I was like, dang, how come I don't appreciate the moments where people are giving me compliments just as much as I do on the negative? So y'all don't be afraid to enjoy your moment. And I know sometimes you don't want to take all the credit too. So if you just say thank you, I have a really good team of people that help to support me, like that works too. But don't be afraid to accept, like, you know, your kudos. All right. So this is another one that I wanted to bring up because I know last time we said when you're receiving feedback, sometimes it's good to be proactive. You don't always have to wait for people to just give you feedback. If you want to know something about how you're doing, don't be afraid to ask. But I wanted to make this disclaimer because there's kind of two parts to this. I feel like a lot of the times people ask for feedback because usually you really want people's opinion, but then the moment they start telling you stuff that you don't want to hear, then you try to rationalize and be like, well, wait, well, what about this? Well, what about that? And so this is just my personal pet peeve. I'm like, well, don't ask me if you don't want my opinion. So I really think it's good for y'all to remember, like, why do I want this person's opinion? Is this someone I trust? Is this someone that I know cares about me? If so, let me just hear them out, because that is the whole point of getting feedback. The moment you start trying to, and I know sometimes like you want to make sure people can be in your head to help you see your thought process and then get the feedback, but that's not as important. The whole point of getting people's feedback is because you want a different perspective. You don't need them to be in your head, or then it would just be an identical clone. So when you're giving feedback and asking for it, really try to just listen to their opinion. And then I say, use sorry wisely, because I know somebody said that and I struggle with that too. I'm always like, oh, I'm sorry, I can do this. I'm sorry, and you over apologize. I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of lean more towards over apologizing just because I feel like people are just so rude in this world, and a sorry can go a long way. Like, I don't have too much pride where I can't say sorry because people make mistakes. But there is a balance where sometimes you could just be over apologizing too much. So just try to watch that. But again, I would probably lean towards the side of caution where if you feel like you might have done something wrong, or you might have offended someone, or they took it the wrong way, it's okay to say sorry. All right. And then I wanted to get your guys' feedback on what y'all feel about unsolicited advice. So, unsolicited advice is like when people tell you their opinions, their thoughts, they give you feedback, but you didn't ask for it. And so, Miss Joni, I wanted to get your opinion because I have mixed reviews about unsolicited advice. So again, unsolicited advice is when people give you feedback, advice, they tell you stuff, but you didn't ask them to tell you that. Miss Joni, what do you think?
So this one, like for me, really goes back heavy on the quality of the person and whether or not I feel like you're giving me this advice or feedback or whatever, because you genuinely care about me or you genuinely want to see me to be successful. Like for people who just want something to say just because they like to hear themselves talk, or they just like a natural critiquer of everything, I won't be rude or anything, but I'll put my filter on and just kind of let it go. But people who I know that care about me, I would want them to feel comfortable giving me unsolicited advice if it's something that they feel like that I need and something that's going to help me grow. Like I don't ever want people to feel like they can't say anything to me or to not feel comfortable giving me criticism that is needed.
I love that, Miss Joni. And that's a good point. I want to hear any comments that you guys have or think, because I try to think about that too. At first, I was a person who would try to give advice to people, but it seemed like they never appreciated it. They like closed off, they shut down, they started attacking me. And I'm like, hold up, wait. Oh, okay. You know what? I got something for you. I'm gonna let you look crazy and silly. How about that? I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself. So I actually started to shy away from giving unsolicited advice just because I feel like people don't appreciate it. But I think it all goes back to like that delivery. So I would say, I was like, okay, Simone, how did you deliver that? Was this a good time? How was your tone? Maybe this was a sensitive topic. Did you kind of prep them for the conversation, or did you just kind of go in? But then I also was thinking, I'm like, I wish people would be more receptive of like, are you creating an open space? Like you said, Miss Joni, you always want to make sure people that you love and value feel comfortable sharing with you. And we do. And I feel like that's a key part of it too. So like, am I creating a space where people feel safe to like tell me things, especially the people I love and care about? Because sometimes we're too in stuff, we can't see it. And somebody might need to be like, hey, wait, slow down just a second. Am I creating that space where people feel like they can help me? Or am I like, no one can tell me nothing? And then am I delivering my message in a way that people will receive it? So,
Yeah, you got a bunch of comments, Miss Simone.
all right, let's talk about it.
So first, Cam said that Spellman had emailed her. So, okay.
Yes, Roman baby, yes, Cam.
Isis says, I tell my friend that all the time, over apologizing can lead to people stepping over you, but you have to humble yourself when needed.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great. Bree says, sometimes I just be like, thanks, and then I move on.
Yeah.
Booski Show said, it depends on the person who's giving the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Q said, I feel like if I didn't ask for it, don't tell me, because usually they just like to talk. But if it's someone I know, then it is welcome.
That's good.
Isis said, I have random people come to me telling me about my lifestyle based on how I look. What you mean? That's crazy.
I know.
What you mean, Isis? That's crazy. Um, the other Q, exclusive Q, said, yeah, I accept all feedback. I just make sure that it's respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And Hardcore said, I like unsolicited advice only because I like when people tell me that I'm lacking.
That's good, Corey.
Yeah.
But also, take the good too. If people are giving you compliments, don't be afraid to shy away. And that's why I think the last time we were talking, I say, people always love to tell you when you're doing something wrong. I feel like this is always just a thing, even in customer service and any business. If something's going wrong, people have something to say, but they never give the same amount of energy when people are doing good. Um, and so that's why I really do try. That's why I feel comfortable giving unsolicited advice. First, if I feel like the person's going to receive it and like actually acknowledge it. But I make sure that I'm not always just telling you when things are going wrong. I'll tell you when you're doing good too. So it's like a holistic view. And so you'll know, dang, like this person really, they see something that I don't see, because I know they tell me when I'm doing well and they'll check me when I'm not doing good.
So Isis provided a little context. She said, I'm gay, I dress masculine. But like, I don't feel like that's a reason for random people to just come up telling you about your lifestyle, especially if it's in a judgmental way. Yo, that's people are just wild out here.
People are sick. I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
what you mean? Excuse me. She's gonna say, excuse me, Miss Joni. What's up?
Who said excuse me, Miss Jones?
Curio.
I don't get it. Why are they?
I don't get it either. What I done did, man? What I done did, yo.
Let us know. Let us know. But yeah, Isis, don't worry about those people. They're just being judgmental. They want something to say. You keep doing you, baby, because you're an author, okay? And listen to the people that actually love and care about you. Get their advice. All right. Anything else before we go on?
Not yet. Isis just said, like, nope, it happens. That's crazy.
Ooh, man, so many issues in the world, and you want to tell me about how to, that's what you have to say? Not about how our people are dying at higher rates from violence, people are suffering from mental health, all these other issues. You want to talk, okay. Giving feedback. Are y'all ready? I hope that this will be helpful to you guys, and this will help you too. Maybe we can, some other crazy people, we can share them this slide and let them know how to give feedback. But first, I just want to start off with, why is giving feedback important? It's important because your voice matters. And you really should, like, if something is on your heart, I feel like you guys should speak up, especially as youth. Oh my gosh, it just blesses my heart when y'all use your voice for something positive and you hold people accountable. Like, it is so valuable. But it's also good for just having honest communication. Like, when you're in relationship with people, whether it be work, friends, partners, you want to be able to communicate your wants, your needs, your expectations, your goals for yourself, your goals for other people. And so you have to be comfortable with giving feedback. You can't just let life pass you by. Miss John, I see you smiling. I want to know what's going on.
No, I'm only smiling because Q was about to try to cut me up in these comments, y'all. Talking about some, oh, never mind, I took your comment the wrong way. And I think she meant when I said the other Q, exclusive Q, because, you know, that's her brand, exclusive, because her name is Q too, is Q Lemon.
Okay.
So kind of like we got two Qs, so I don't know. She think I was trying to play it when I really wasn't. I listen.
No.
Hardcore. You got a firecracker, baby. Poor hardcore.
Okay, I'm like, Corey got Twitter fingers and Q got YouTube comment fingers because we got to slow down.
Yeah, she like, why I just gotta be regular Q. My bad, baby. I ain't mean it like that. I just meant, you know, you was our first Q. My bad.
You're the original Q. How about
that?
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I meant to say. I was just, you know, yo, poor hardcore, yo, poor hardcore. Yo,
but that's what you see how Q spoke up now so that she could avoid future conflict and build up of emotions in the future. Because if she just thought Miss Joni was talking mess about her and maybe not calling her the right Q, and she held that in and resented it, and now she doesn't want to come on success sessions, and now she's missing out on opportunities, it's just a waste of time. It's better to speak up, and I'll give y'all some tips on how to do it in an appropriate way. But yeah, don't be afraid to use your voice because it helps you in the long run. All right.
Thank you, Miss Simone. That's a great point, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because whole time I would have never known I did anything wrong. And y'all know me, when I'm throwing shade, It's conscious shade. I don't ever do shade and don't know what I'm doing. Like, yo, it is very conscious. So I can laugh too. But I had a comment for you, Miss Simone.
Yeah.
She said, don't say sorry, say I apologize, because saying sorry makes a sorry person.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take that in. I like that. I apologize. It does sound more like just like you're not a sorry person. Okay. Thank you for that feedback. I receive it. Um, so the next thing is okay, as much as I advocate for y'all to give feedback, I would be totally foolish if I didn't want y'all to think, okay, it is important for me to speak up, but why am I giving this like feedback and why am I speaking up? Because you don't want to be that person that's always speaking up. Like I said, if you're just in a bad mood, to make your self esteem feel like you want to boost yourself up, if you're just trying to bring people down, and if you're just always going to just defend or excuse your own poor behavior. Some good reasons to give feedback is because you made a commitment to someone something and you really want to put your all in it, or you have a concern for someone where you feel like they really might be going down the wrong track, or the project might not be going the way it is supposed to go, or you're in a relationship with someone and you just feel like things aren't going right. Like those are some reasons why you would want to speak up, and like you have a sense of responsibility, or you want to guide or mentor someone or support or enhance them. So, just before you speak, just think about like, is this going to add value? Why is it important for me to give this feedback? Is this going to help someone more than it's going to hurt them? Those are some good reasons to give feedback. All right, and then here are some different ways that you can give feedback effectively. So the first one is the sandwich method, and I'm sure maybe you guys have probably heard of this already. They say when you're giving feedback, you should always start out with a positive. So like, I like that you show up to success sessions consistently. Like I see you on it. But I wish you would comment more, because I feel like sometimes you just come in the morning, but I know you have some really good things to say. I want you to add value. So again, like I said, I really enjoy you coming and I just want you to speak up more. So if you could do that, we would love it. So you see how you kind of sandwich it: good, negative, positive. You're not attacking anyone's character. You're not saying, well, you're being lazy. You're not, making any assumptions. You're getting straight to the point, sandwiching it that way. So let me know what y'all think about these different methods, and maybe which ones you feel like you use more in your life, or ones you want to use more in your life. Okay, so then there's the chronological method, where you kind of give people, chronological is like you want to give people a story, like kind of like a timeline. And this one is good because it kind of helps you to give a holistic picture. This is good in like situational events because, kind of like how Ms. Joni just explained what was happening with Q. Like, oh no, like, so first I was talking to exclusive Q, then I saw that you were the Q, and that is why I did that. So you kind of give people a timeline to kind of bring them into the situation and let them know, like, okay, when you first came into the room, I felt happy, I was smiling, but then I thought you gave me a stink look. And so then I was like, wait, is something wrong? So can you just explain to me why you gave me that look? Because I don't want to assume anything, but this is like how I saw it in my eyes. So that's kind of a chronological method of how you can give feedback. And let's say like you're a CEO and you have to tell your employees something, you can tell them, hey, when you came in, I saw that you clocked in, but then you went straight to the bathroom and we really needed you on this. So just that's kind of the chronology. You're giving people the story of like how, the things went. And then the Pendleton method is really good because it requires people to do reflection and action, because you ask them questions. So you could say, yeah, during that group project, like I really enjoyed this part, but I wish this would have gone better. And then you ask them, what do you think could have gone better in that situation? And you ask them a question so that they can self-reflect and like give their own answer. And they say, usually when people come up with their own kind of like aha moment where they're like, oh yeah, I probably could have done better, or maybe we should have communicated more on this part of the project. They said people are more likely to take action because now they said it out loud about themselves and they're kind of holding themselves accountable. All right. Mars said, I like the sandwich method because sometimes I overthink a lot and I always think about the negative when situations hit me. And Isis agrees. That's good, y'all. I'm really glad that y'all can notice um, those things just in your life. Because, like I said, I don't know why it's easier for us to like focus on negatives than it is positive. So using that sandwich method can help you break it up. Cam says that's how they write speeches too. Ooh, that's good, Cam. What kind which method do they use when they write speeches? I'm sure probably all of them, but that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up because um, I know sometimes this stuff can feel like a little stuffy, like a little textbooky, but when you can apply it to your life, it's like, oh, this makes sense. And they're using this in speeches and in the real world. Like, let me use this in my personal life too. Like, it might feel a little structured at first. It might feel a little weird because you're not used to doing it. But once you practice more and more and you add your own spin to it, it really just helps you in your day-to-day life to just have good tools. And then it'll help you realize too when people are giving feedback, and that'll help you like, is this criticism or is this feedback? Because they're not using none of these methods, so maybe I can help them. If I know they really do love and care about me but they just can't deliver it effectively, maybe you can put them on to some of these tips, or you just, you can be a living example of how to give feedback effectively. Are there any more comments?
Yeah. Reese said, I like the sandwich and the Pendleton method. Lene says, Pendleton is giving me Dr. King vibes.
Ooh,
And yeah, I like that. And Can says, sandwich for the most part to help the audience receive the message.
I like that.
And I know just for me personally, the sandwich is one that we used to have to teach in corporate America, especially for new managers. Like if you were being promoted to a manager or a supervisor position, this was something that we had to teach you how to do because it was proven that employees perform better and they take feedback better when you give them this particular method of giving them something positive, then telling them whatever it is that you wanted them to improve on, and then ending it on something positive. So like that was like a thing in corporate America.
Wow. Thank you for that tip, Miss Joni. Because yeah, y'all, like I said, when I was Googling and researching to find this information for y'all, I was like, these are buzzwords. Like everyone in corporate America is trying to figure out how to get people motivated to listen, how to help. And I just think this is so key because I feel like a lot of the times people are just yes man. They just go along to get along. And that's not going to help anything. Because if we just have one person's mind at the forefront of stuff, like you have to know how to give feedback in a way where people receive it, they can still feel empowered, because you have to remember we're all human beings, we're already beat ourselves up enough, so then you got someone else telling you that you're not good enough. You got to balance that out, positive, negative, positive, and really focus on the situation and the behavior rather than the person. So thank you, Miss Joni, that's good. All right, so overall tips for giving feedback is just kind of plan in advance. And this kind of goes with what Corey and Jada were talking about too, with like prepping the conversation. So just like how you would prep the person for a conversation that might be a little tough, make sure you prep yourself too. Don't just go in guns a-blazing and now you look crazy and you're all off topic. It does take a little bit of time because it is a little uncomfortable. So make sure you plan in advance so that you can prepare the person to receive it, to prepare them what they're going to get. It says do it ASAP unless your emotions will get the best of you. So I think this is about the timing, right? So you don't want to let things fester and linger and now you're building up all this resentment in your heart. That's what it means by like do it quickly, but it doesn't mean like you have to give an immediate reaction. Like how we said, not everything deserves a reaction. So maybe you just step back a little bit, you think about what you want to say, which method you want to use. Once you have those things, then you can say it. So just take that one with balance. Isa said, honestly, there needs to be more comprehension for growth. I agree 100%, Isis. 100%. I don't think they give people the right tools, like enough tools to really be able to be effective in life. So I'm glad y'all are here and getting it. And so y'all can spread it to other people. Because it's not okay to just be stuck where you are. We got to keep growing. So then it says, think about the main points and stick to that. And this one has really helped me. Like I tell y'all about journaling, and I feel like a lot of other people had talked about journaling too, which makes me happy because I'm like, this is just a powerful method for you to get out of your head, put things on paper, and you can kind of get it all out, and then you pick out the main points that are really just like making you feel not good. Like some of the points you can just let it go. It's a waste of breath, but the things that are really going to keep you up at night or make you not want to like talk to that person, those are the main things you want to talk about when you're giving feedback, so that you're not all over the place. You're not just like showering down people with every single thing that's going wrong. You want to stick to those main points, especially if you're trying to give feedback to someone who's being defensive and bringing up other topics. You don't want to let them take you off the path of why you came to that conversation. You want to stick to the points that you have. Then they say one-on-one feedback is usually preferable. People like to, it should be intimate, not like a crowd, like you're trying to joke somebody and make them feel embarrassed, all that stuff. Be aware of nonverbal cues. So, we always talk about this, y'all. Like you can say nothing and your body language will say it all, okay? So you can't be trying to give people positive feedback. Like, we like how you do this. It's like, are you sure? Because you just look angry and you're not making eye contact. Kamaya's success session says timing is everything. Sometimes the right people or the right opportunities are there at the wrong time. That's good, Kamaya. That is really, really good. Timing is key. And then they said, encourage self-reflection. So this one is good for like, the Pendleton method too, like getting people to think of their own kind of stuff. Sometimes that's the best way to get people to do it, because you could tell them all day, but until they come to that realization, like, man, maybe I could have done this better. Maybe I could have done that better. And you just ask them like, what are some things you want to improve on, and kind of let them tell on themselves. And then you kind of guide the conversation that way. Perfect. You want to give specific feedback again. You want to focus on the problem, not the person. And these two are key. I think that it's the worst when you can just like talk about how things are negative and you don't have any kind of solution, support, help. Y'all, please don't be those people that just want to talk just to talk. Like if you're going to talk, help people. Don't be afraid to just like offer your advice and be like, you know what, I'm still growing in this area too, so we can work on it together. But at least I'm going to tell you this and be here to support you in any way that I can. Jada says, writing something before saying it helps with the delivery of message. Yes, y'all got this. I'm gonna give y'all present the slides because y'all are on it. I love it. Thank you so much, because that's true. It really does. And y'all, you want to make sure, like the whole point in life is not to always be right. It's not to always want to tear somebody down. If you really want to make sure like whatever you're saying is going to reach the people you want it to reach. Like y'all said, people use this in speeches. It's giving you Martin Luther King vibes. There's a reason, because they have studied this stuff and they have become effective communicators. And so a lot of the times it's not even like they're the smartest or they know all the answers, but they know enough to make people listen to what they have to say, in order to get whatever message across that they want. And they've done it effectively. And now people trust them and they listen to them. So I guess we can end with this question. Oh, we never have enough. I still have 15. I'm not 15, but I'm not gonna lie. I still have 8 slides. I gotta work on my timing, y'all. I'm so sorry, because we still have to get to, we were talking about closure and how to like have closure. We'll do it next week. But I just want to end with this. Why is it so hard to give feedback? What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, that's a good one. For a person like me in my position, it's not necessarily hard to give it, but it's hard to determine when you should or shouldn't. sometimes in some cases. Like I know that for, some people who have already expressed to me that they want to learn from me and that they want to be able to grow and be in our environment and all that, like it's a little easier because, all right, I know that it's okay to, give you my feedback, even if it's one of those unsolicited feedback, because you've already kind of opened that door. But then for other people that want to be around in your space and not really doing nothing, I'm just like, no, well, what are you doing here anyway? Then? Like, if you're not trying to get better, like you can't play with us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, like go over to another playground, like go back to the ghetto. Like, you're not about to bring that over here.
But actually,
Right. But yo, I love it when somebody tell me that they don't want my advice. I love it, y'all. I love it because you know what? Now you just freed me. So if anything happens, I will not have that guilty conscience feeling or that heavy weight on my heart thinking like, Dad, I wish I would have said something, or Dad, we could have helped this person. No, you free me from all that when you tell me, no, thank you. Okay.
like, that is music to my ears.
Yeah, that is definitely music to my ears. You got a bunch of comments here, Miss Simone. Let me see. Let me read them from my phone. Yeah, you blowing up right here. Kamaya Success Sessions. No, first Bree said it's so hard to get feedback because of the emotions of the other person or who the person is.
That's
Kamaya
true.
Success Sessions said because you don't want to hurt feelings, and then sometimes you don't know when you should. Chaos Moody said, because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. And Q Exclusive agreed with that. And Bree said, sometimes the person may also feel that they are never wrong. So they may lash out on you and then turn things on you. Oh, that's when I get the biggest exit sign. Okay, see you. Thank you.
Yep. Next caller, next call.
Right. Isis said, it's not hard for me to get feedback. I think I use a mix of chronological and the sandwich method.
I like that. Good.
Aeneas said, you don't want to say the wrong thing and people take it the wrong way, but I do it out of love for the person. And it also depends on the person if they take it to help them or choose not to listen.
That's true.
Miss Mo said, you might not feel qualified to give it.
Miss Mo, speak to, yes.
Ma said, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I have a kind heart, so therefore I think it will ruin my reputation if I say something wrong and they don't take it nicely. Lene said, I'm the type, I don't mind people feedback, but it's always from who. I don't want it from someone who has a negative account and don't know how to run a business.
Tell him, Lene.
Right? Chaos Movies like, yo, it's above me now. Mars said, and it can affect how you feel for the rest of the day or week. And what you say sometimes, people don't care. For me, I truly do. That's why I watch what I say sometimes. And Missouri says, I recently got in an argument with someone because I said I didn't want their advice. And Poet said, I'm sorry for not responding. I took the time to, hey, it's okay, Poet. I thought that was a comment to this question. You good, baby? Good to have you here. Welcome. Good morning. And Ma said, I hate getting feedback because sometimes I don't care. It depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah, y'all. This is a hot topic.
Yo, it's good. We never have enough time, Miss Simone.
Never. But thank y'all so much for just sharing. I hope just this conversation kind of opened up your mind. And just remember, nothing in life is going to be perfect, but at least if you have the tools to kind of navigate each situation, y'all gonna be great. I'm not worried. So I guess I'm gonna drop my jewel, but I want to do Mars quick because this is quick. We don't have to take too long. So Mars, shout out to you for the quick icebreaker on a Friday. This is picking your superhero name. So you first have to, what color shirt are you wearing? And what's the last thing you ate? So, and that would determine your superhero name. So I'm kind of
I take my shout out back.
Show me, go with the. It's cute. It's cute. It's a little corny for a Friday. I like it. So I guess my super, I have on a black shirt and I had whole wheat waffles for breakfast. So my superhero name would be Black Whole Wheat Waffles.
I take my shout out back. Yo, I eat yogurt every day, Monday through Friday. That's my breakfast. On the weekend, I treat myself to waffles, bacon, and eggs, turkey
Oh,
bacon. But during the week for breakfast, I eat the same thing. I eat my yogurt with my fruit and my granola cereal on top. So that would be black yogurt. That is so dumb. Bye, y'all.
I kind of like that, Miss Joni. Black yogurt on the scene.
That is so dumb.
Black fruit yogurt. Put your superhero names in the comment. I know.
Yo, you got some stupid names in the comment, yo. Kamaya Success Session said pink cheesecake. Missouri is black bacon. Miss Mo is black grapes. Ari is black sausage. Ma is black salad. Bree is blue vitamins. Chaos Smoothies is gray noodles. Hey, yo, Isis is teal flaming hot Funyuns. Get that baby out the ghetto right now, yo. Yo, yo. Medical K is tie-dye curry chicken. Baby Barack is blue grapes. Yo, Sam is black fruit snacks. Hey, yo, I cannot, yo.
Yeah,
Yo, the flaming hot fun. Yo, people just making up anything at this point. Bye, y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm done with y'all.
Let me get my jewel and get off of here. We're not
Miss
gonna
Simone,
get-
what's your jewel?
I was just gonna say that I got this quote from somebody. I'll give him a shout out next week. But it says, "Feedback is the breakfast of champions." And so don't be afraid to give feedback, receive feedback. That's when you have a growth mindset. So
Yes.
love y'all. Please be safe this weekend. Stay your butt in the house. And if you do go out, wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Simone. We'll see you on Monday. Since the team got us working on Memorial Day, everybody else taking off, but we on.
Never stop. Love y'all.
Have a good weekend, Miss Simone. Yo, I'm super duper excited, y'all, for our next guest, y'all, Miss Jordan Green. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So we'll be right back at 11 with Jordan, y'all. Hey, y'all. We are back. We are back. Super excited. I've been talking about this all week, haven't I? Hey, Lene, you got your logo? That's what's up. Who did it for you? That is amazing. Y'all, let's get Jordan on here. This is about to be fire. There she go.
Hi.
Hey, Jordan, what's up?
I'm trying to fix the video. Sorry. Okay.
It's all
Oh,
good.
okay. Here we go. Here we go.
There she go. What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, man. Yeah, listen, thank you so much for just taking the time to be with us today. I know your schedule is crazy, but I really appreciate you taking the time to come and hang with the heartbeats, man. Everybody been super excited. I've been talking about this interview all week. Like, this the one, this the one.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Hey, y'all already know, man. Drop your comments, drop your questions. We never have enough time, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into it. So, Jordan, so for people who aren't familiar with you, can you just do like an introduction? And they like for you to spill tea. So, like whatever you got. I know you ain't that old, but whatever you can tell about how you grew up and all that type of stuff. They like to hear all that.
Okay. Well, my name is Jordan Green. I'm from Baltimore. I'm 19. Well, everybody knows me from the incident that happened with me in 2017. It's around September. I was shot by a stray bullet, and it left me incomplete. Incomplete paralysis. That's my situation now. So I'm working on walking again and getting better with that. I just graduated 2019. I'm now in college. I go to Lake University, upcoming sophomore. Um, yeah, I've been doing a lot so far. I'm starting to really become more comfortable with this whole thing because people do, want me to speak out and talk about things, but it's like I wasn't really too comfortable with this whole thing a while back. So now I'm starting to be more, open with things and more willing to talk and speak about my situation because a lot of people are actually inspired by what I've been through and how I've overcome, all that I have been through. So that's a little about me.
Absolutely. You getting a lot of Dove Love comments up in here. I should have known the Western people was gonna come out. Hey y'all, I see y'all. I see y'all. So if you don't mind, like, could you tell us a little bit about like what were you doing before this accident? Because I know you was like an entrepreneur. You
Well,
had all this
yeah,
other stuff.
I had my own balloon business. Be More Balloons. Me and my best friend had a business. We actually took a little break from it when we did go to school because we didn't really have enough time and coming home on weekends and everything. We didn't do too much, so we did take a little break on that. But I do plan on us, getting things back up and running. I also was a fashionette. I did fashionettes. My senior year, I was an officer and things like that. I played volleyball, ninth grade, 10th grade. I was pretty active before my incident. So yeah, that was a few things that I did in high school. Outside of Western, I did like run track, play softball, things like that. But that was about it that I did so far. I wasn't too big on like other things besides like hanging out with my friends, stuff like that. Typical teenage stuff.
Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh. So like when you think about like what your life was kind of before and then like now, like what are some of the things that you think about just kind of like personally in terms of the
Well,
change?
it's crazy because like being on quarantine and stuff, I get to like go through my phone a lot, like my pictures and my old stuff. And it's like when I look at my old pictures and videos and like things that I used to do and stuff, it's just like, wow. Like I was really like I did a lot in my young years. Like when I think about being 19, it's like, okay, I'm 19. I am still young, but it's like I did a lot in my like 14, 15, 16. Like I did a lot in those years. So it's like now I'm just at a space where I just want to, focus on being prepared for my, my adulthood and like kind of strapping down and like just taking things a little more serious and stepping into, different paths in my life because like I had all the fun. Like I feel like I had all my fun before I got shot. So it's like, no, I'm not saying that I don't still, have fun and do like things with my friends, but you know, my look on things is different. I don't really like the same things that I used to be into before I got shot. So now I'm just much more like calm, preserved and things like that. And I pay attention to what I do a lot, just keep myself together.
Yeah, like you so young, yo. So to hear somebody only 19 say, I feel like I done already did a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
huh?
It's like
Like,
I did a lot. Like I did so much because like I always just took everything here and like I would always, have ideas or things that I would want to do. But it was like I would need to like talk it out with my mom. Like, do you think this is a good idea? Or you think I should do this? Or how should I go about this? Even things that I was scared of, like being an officer, I was really, really nervous for that. Like I was really scared for that, especially because it was like my time for it was after I got shot. And I didn't want people to think that me getting the position was because of anybody feeling sorry for me or, feeling that I deserve the position because of what happened. But it's like I really had, good ideas, a good vision, and my show showed it. So I'm glad that I was able to, produce a really good show before the quarantine and everything.
wow, that is awesome. And where can we find this show?
Well, this was the Western fashion show that we had 2019. Well, it was actually the last fashion show before this year. So yeah, I had the last show. I was officer of the last
Wow.
show.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So look, if it's not too painful, like is it appropriate? Can you walk us through that day, like that fatal day in September?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it now. Like now, it's not really a thing to me, but just that day, like being as though what I was doing today, it was a really heavy day for me, especially because the day before I had got my license, so it was like I was really anxious to just be driving and be out with my friends and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not gonna say like what I was doing was wrong, but I probably could have started to just slow down a little with like being out all the time and hanging out all the time because I would just like be on the go all the time, like on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go. So that day it was just like, I didn't expect anything bad. I didn't feel anything bad was going to happen. I didn't think anything of that nature was going to happen. Like it was just a regular day for me. But it was like in the moment of me getting shot and everything, like I was woke the whole time. I was woke the entire time. Actually, like I didn't pass out or like go into a coma or anything. I was actually woke the whole time. And I was just talking to everybody around me, and just I was pretty regular. Like, I mean, I laugh about it now because it's like thinking about how woke I was and how, I was just talking to everybody. It was just like a crazy night. So basically me being in the hospital, when I woke up, I didn't know the severity of everything. Like I didn't know how I was gonna feel. I didn't know my situation. Like I didn't know I couldn't walk. I didn't know that. Like I didn't know that. But it was just the fact that, the night of when it happened, when I was on the ground, actually, I felt like my body weird, but I just thought it was, I never got shot before. So I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to
Mhm.
feel. I just didn't know. So it was like waking up to the doctors and tubes down my throat and everything. It was really freaky for me. And, in the beginning of it, like leaving the hospital, going to therapy and things like that, I feel like I was a little, depressed and things like that. But when I got to like school, like after high school, after college, I feel like over time I started to kind of get out of that depression and just like, branch off. And it all started for me actually when I joined the pageant. I joined the pageant for the fraternity Omega Psi Phi. And in that pageant, it was like I didn't realize how damaged I was from that night on. I didn't realize how much of a toll it had took on me because I never actually sat down to talk about what had happened or think about what had happened. And it was like being in that pageant, I was forced to talk about it every day and tell my story every day because I had to practice it to perform it. And it
Oh,
was like talking about it and repeating it every day, keep reading that, I had shattered artery, I had collapsed lung, I had to have emergency surgeries and things like that. It was like, wow, like this really happened to me. Like I'm reading this over and over and I'm speaking in third person because I want to portray, a book sign and because it was my pageant. But it was like, I'm really talking about myself. Like this is me. Like this is what I went through. These are things that I faced. It was kind of rough, but over time, I kind of overcame it and I started to look at the good in it all. It's like I just kind of really needed to sit down, to like look at my life and reevaluate it and just, regroup myself. Because I do feel like now when I look back at that age and that time and that space that I was in, I probably was going to, eventually going down a route that I didn't have planned for myself. But it was just like that was my environment. That was, what I was around, what I was going through. So it was just like it took me, 2 years literally to realize, what was the good in it all? Like was the reason in all of this. And like, no, I'm not saying, I'm happy I got shot or I'm happy it was, this severe. But the fact that I needed that to, wake me up a little bit because I was just moving too fast. So yeah, that pretty much is.
Yeah. Wow,
That.
for you to have that perspective, like you're just so wise beyond your years because most people, especially your age, like that would crush somebody.
Yeah. And at times I did feel crushed per se, but it was just the little things that would pop up every now and then that would just give me like a little bit of hope or like, at least some type of motive to know that it can happen for me, like things will happen for me. So, yeah, that's a little bit about that.
Yeah. Lamar wants to know, did you attend UMBC's Upward Bound?
Yes, I did. I did do Upper Brown program. I started in the 10th grade, my 10th grade summer. That was my first time. And then I had got shot and everything. And actually being a part of that program, they were very supportive. Like they came to visit me in the hospital. They bought me a shirt and everything from my classic Upper Bound family. They were very supportive. And even when I came back to Upper Bound to actually, be in the program, it was different because this time I was in my wheelchair. So all my teachers and things that I haven't seen, they were kind of shocked, and like all my friends and stuff were shocked. So it was just like a big change for everybody, but they didn't treat me any different nonetheless. So yes, I was a part of that program, and it was a really good program. I really, I like that a lot.
That's awesome. Ania has a touching comment. She said, "You survived, and thank you for choosing life when you could have been a different way. God definitely has his hands on you."
Thank you so much. And I really haven't shared this with anybody actually, but when I was in the hospital and things like that, and I used to type in my notes a lot and talk to myself. And recently I went back and looked at my notes, and one of my notes, I was just talking to myself, and I was kind of like thinking about suicide. And me, I love living. I love life. Like I love being here. I don't want to go. Like I love it here. And it was like just reading that and realizing how things were taking a toll on me and putting me in such a dark space, and now I'm so woke and I look at things so different. So it's just like I'm just very thankful to have a mind, this type of mind, for me to be strong enough to get myself out of that dark place.
Yeah,
So thank you so much for that.
absolutely. Yeah, Bree says, when all this happened, did people look at you different, like your family and your friends? And did you ever feel like you wanted to change yourself? That's a deep question, Bree. Thank you.
No, I feel like if anything, especially strangers, like everybody just loved me. Like I feel like they adored me, and they just looked at how I just made so light of it. I guess it's just because I never, asked for sympathy, or I never complained. I've never been sad, or I never, beg or had my hand out. So it's just like people were always just so willing to be there for me because of me being so calm and just wanting to do things on my own and being so independent. People will actually get a little frustrated with how independent I chose, or like, want to be all the time. So no, my family and friends didn't treat me any different. Honestly, I'm glad that I had the friends and family that I do have, because if they didn't treat me, the way that I should have been treated to keep me strong enough, I really don't know how I would be, because that was a thought that I had in the beginning, like how people look at me, like I've always been nice looking, always dressed nice, always, had friends and guys and things like that. So it was like being in this wheelchair, it was like how people look at me, like how will I be looked at? How will people treat me? But I've been good. I've been treated really good. I have never been discriminated against. I've never been, bullied, thank God. I mean, people have said things, but it was never anything to tear me or break me down. So
Yeah. Isis says, how has your view on being incapable changed over time? Like you can do any direction with this relating to or beyond physical. And Isis always come with these deep questions like that. So
could you repeat it? I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
yeah, no, I know. She says, how has your view on being incapable changed over time? You can
Okay,
do any
so
direction.
I feel like that's a really good question, because in the
Yeah,
beginning of this, I would always tell myself what I couldn't do or how I wouldn't be able to do it. But like my mom was really, really big on that aspect of my life. Like my mom always told me, like anything you've ever had planned, anything you want to do, anything like you want for yourself, we're going to do. We're just going to do it a different way. And me being an officer was a prime example of that. Like I literally did not want to be one. And it was like, I've wanted this since I was in the 10th grade. Like I've always wanted to be an officer my senior year. And it was just like, how can I go about this? How can I make me stand out from all these other candidates running for this position? You know, how can I, actually do this? How can I make a show? How can I teach these girls dance moves? And how can I teach them coordination when I'm not standing up or I can't actually act it out? But it was just like, it happened. Like I was able to, put it in different ways. I was able to give it to them in different ways that they understand, and they executed everything. It was just perfect. And not even with that, but that itself took me to the next level. And like I mentioned, my pageant, that was really, really hard for me. Like I had to learn dance moves. I had to keep up with everybody else being in my wheelchair. I had to actually just be comfortable enough to tell my story to a bunch of strangers, because high school, it was like, even if you didn't know them, you knew of them because, they might know somebody, or like things like that. It was like college was a whole different ball game. People from all these different states. I don't know these people. So it was really different for me, but it was good. I'm glad I had it. Sorry
Yeah.
about this.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Elder said, were you ever tired of people trying to make it seem like you couldn't do stuff on your own?
Yes. And I felt like it was coming from my doctors and people like that the most, because it's like you can have people that tell you it'll be okay all day, but it's like, I don't really care what y'all got to say. My doctors and my therapists, like their opinions matter the most to me, because I feel like they've been in this job so long. They know, like they had people like this before. They seen things like this before, but it's just like over time, I had to just stop listening and just do my own thing. And like I said, my mom has always helped me with that little piece, because it's like if they would be like, oh no, you can't do this or you can't do that, yeah, I just be like, oh, I'm sad now. I can't do this. I gotta figure out, like how can I get to do this? But it was just like my mom would just come and say, we could just do it this way, or we could just do it that way, or we could try this way. So it was just like things always worked out for me, whether that was said or not. So, even down to me driving, I was told in the beginning I wouldn't be able to drive again, or things like that wouldn't work out for me. But one day my mom was just like, get over here, like get in the seat. We about to just drive. And I just did it. And after that, we took the steps that I needed for me to go get reevaluated and everything. And I just did it. And now I'm driving.
And now you can drive. Yo, wow. Yo, I love it. Ania says, when you're by yourself and you close your eyes and you think about that day, how does your body and mind react? That's a deep question there.
It's crazy because I tried to do that the other day. And like when I try to think about it, I don't get like chills, or I don't get scared, or I don't have like nightmares, or it's not like PTSD. Like it's literally just a night. Like I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, or if that's really like, I'm not sure how much sense it makes, but I don't know. Like when I look back on it, I don't look back on it as like a negative or like the worst day of my life. Yes, the worst day of my life, because my life changed drastically, but not the worst day of my life as in a nightmare, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was like I knew I had to change my life and readjust and readapt to things around me from that day on. But it wasn't like, I felt like I was scared to go outside, or I was nervous of things. Like I don't feel that way. When I actually just think about it, I think about it as like my turning point in life. Like that's how I look at it, or how I think about it, or what I feel about that.
wow.
Because I just look at how much I've changed or grown since that has happened. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Poet says, how did you work around your wheelchair and make it your own? Hmm.
Um, it is, well, actually, everybody else around me just started to be like, wow, like you worked that thing really good. I just like it's just kind of, I'm just used to it. Like I learned to use it really fast. Like when I was in the hospital and I had to get in it, and they like, maneuver, see if you like it, see if it works. And I just went off with it. Like it was just mine, like just my thing. I don't know. I guess because me always being like tech savvy, like even down to like phones and stuff like that. Like I always tell my grandma, I have my aunt, tell everybody. So I was always the go-to for like the electronics and things like that. So this was just like a small thing to me. It was just like, I can work with this. I can get it. And then it's just like now being able to like get in and out of it every now and then. That's like a big thing for me. So,
Yeah.
I like
Isis says, what has been your medium of turning hurt into power, like meditation or self-reflection?
Well, once again, I want to touch base on the pageant again. After I did my pageant, I did feel that I wanted to build a better relationship with God and become, closer with God and learn more about that. So I did start to watch like Sarah Jake's videos and like Mike Todd and things like that. I started to just read more. I downloaded the Bible app. I started to just like start plans and things like that. Just kind of watch sermons and just keep myself, afloat spiritually to just keep myself calm. And it's like it helped my way of thinking and everything. So that's just really my go-to. Like whenever I feel down or, like I can't do things, it's like I do that. I go to my Bible app or watch a sermon or I do things like that because it's like, though I have faith and, I know God is with me. It's like sometimes I'm human. So, sometimes I do get in my mode. So I just watch sermons or read, write, things like that. That's just kind of, what I do to help me.
That is so powerful. Kamaya says, how did having such an amazing support system in your corner help you progress since the shooting?
It mainly helped me because I had people who were willing to do anything for me. Like they were willing to just always help me. So for me to have somebody that's willing to always help me and me to just be able to say, I want to do it myself, or I want to try this on my own, or I want to see if I can do this, and them actually allow me to, but to know that I have them if it doesn't work out, that was always like, a good thing for me. So it was just always like, I know I have somebody, I always have somebody to back me up in that argument that I may not feel the strongest in, or that I may feel I still need help in. But if it's something that I want to do on my own, strictly on my own, no help, I know that they'll allow me to do that, but still be there for me. So that was always, something that just kept me going and just willing to do anything. And I always know, like, if I come to my mom, like, I want to do this, I want to try that, I just already know she gonna be on it. She gonna be with it. She rolling with it. So, that's just, my thing.
I know that's right. So Ma is a 15-year-old. He was recently a guest on the Steve Harvey show talking about like just some issues that he had in terms of bullying and how he overcame. And he hosts this youth show every Sunday called Spiritual Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
So he on here basically yelling, asking, can we invite you to Spiritual Sundays to come and
Yes.
talk?
I would love to come. I would love to come.
Okay. The Instagram that I tagged you on, is that the best way for them to reach you?
Yes.
That all right, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it because we got a bunch of people saying, yeah, 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 she gotta be there. Y'all heard it.
Yeah,
So
and I also kind of started my own little incorporated, thing. It's called Strong Incorporated. I'm still kind of, working on it because I personally did have a vision for it or idea for it, but it's just like now over time, a lot of different things just come to me. So I'm just kind of allowing myself to just slowly figure it all out because I don't want to just make it this one thing and say this is my mission and say this is my goal and then I want to change it or I want to do something different or I want to add something. So it's just like I'm kind of just trying to take my time so I can make this good enough for me and the people that I'm trying to lean towards. So that's just something that I'm working on. But I do plan for it to be pretty big soon.
hey, you gotta let us know so we can support.
I will. I will.
So all this violence in Baltimore, like, what do you think about it? Like, what's like your perception on that? Because to some degree, I kind of blame that on innocent people like you, like getting hurt, and it just makes me so angry.
I do agree with that. But being as though I really like this really a hard question for me because it's like being, even though what happened to me was a mistake and it was because of acts of violence, like guns and things like that. It's like, I try to look at it a little deeper than just that because it's like, why are the people outside in the first place? Or why do they feel they need to have guns? Or why do they feel like they need to be in the hood? So it's just like, I really don't want to just say, I hate everybody who's outside, who has guns, who's bad, who does these things. It's just like, it's deeper than that. But it's like, sometimes you can't help everybody, even though it's deeper than that. You can't always go to every single person and say, it started with this thing in his childhood and this, that. So it's like, you have a lot of damaged people that do these type of things. So I personally don't fault them, but I do feel that as a whole, we can help those coming up to prevent or to avoid those type of things. So that's particularly my take on it. So it's like, I don't feel angry towards about it. I do feel that it's a bad thing. And I do hate that a lot of innocent people, including myself, have to be affected by it. But I do feel that, we have to just help each other. We gotta help each other because I do feel that it's like root issue most of the time when it comes to things like that, like gun violence and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
just my take.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I love it. Isis says, have you experienced any other meaningful hardships in your life?
Yes, I would say losing my grandmother.
Mm,
That was a really hard thing for me. It was really, really hard for me. And it was particularly hard for me because my grandmother was one who just always like she always got a motivational speech. She just pushing, and it just was like even when she was rude, not rude, she was very outspoken. But even when she was outspoken, and it might have seemed rude, it was always for the better. And I feel like she always was one of the people who pushed me in the situation because it was like she was never too mushy. Like she was always, it was like it was the right balance. It was like I'm here, I'm a shoulder for you to cry on, but I'm still pushing you in the best way I can by still just being there for you. So it was just like losing her was just kind of hard for me because I feel like I've grown a lot and I know that I could have helped her as much as she would have helped me, on this journey that I feel like I'm on right now. So that was definitely something hard, that I had to face. But I feel a lot that I do now and a lot of the ways that I think and my actions is because of her. And I know that she's still with me through, all of this. So yeah.
yeah,
Sorry. I got a
that's
little,
tough. No,
yeah.
that's tough. No, nah, that's tough. Thank you for sharing with us. Cam says, could you talk about your best friend and your relationship? How did y'all find each other and the keys to finding and identifying the best friend? That's a good
Mm,
question,
it
Cam.
is because she is my best friend. Like, oh my God. Like, he's my best friend. Like, even when you just asked that question, it's like we could have been fussing yesterday and I still would have felt that way. Just our relationship is just like it's a lot. And I'm okay. I'm just gonna start off by saying we didn't like each other at first. Freshman year we had a class together and she just wasn't my cup of tea and she felt like I knew it all. So we were just like had these ideas of each other that was just like not really feeling her. And one day we just had to do an assignment together and she was like taking pictures on my phone. We were just like chatting with each other and just like talking. And then we started playing volleyball with each other sophomore year. And then like just from then on, we just became really, really close. And it's crazy because we didn't start calling each other best friends until after I got shot. Like she was always just that one friend, that I've always had that was just so close to me that we did everything together. We had so much in common. We lived right by each other. So we were always hanging out and doing things and we never put a title on it. We always were just genuine to each other because we had a lot of the same past, friendships that, we, got our feelings hurt or people might have thought these things about us or, sometimes you just got to find your person. And I feel like she just came to me. Like I didn't look for her or we didn't try to force anything. It was just like, it just came genuinely. And that's how I feel most people do. They get a friend, see a good thing about it and just like, oh, this is my best friend. Like you can't do that with everybody. Sometimes you just gotta allow stuff to go. Like we literally were friends for 2 years before we started calling each other best friends. So I just feel like sometimes you just gotta allow the relationship to go. And it was like even when we had like arguments or falling out, and me personally growing up, I was always the type that's like, I don't reach out. I don't want to reach out. Like if we don't talk, then I don't really want to reach out. But it was like she made me do that. Like I started to reach out more. Like if we got into a little argument, I'm going to text you because we're not about to be just arguing. Like no, I want to talk to you. I want to know what's wrong. Like what's going on. She allowed me to be more, open about stuff and reach out more. And I feel like I also helped her in a lot of things that she was struggling with too. So it's like we just kind of balance each other out and help each other where other one is lacking. So that's just my advice on a bestie. And even down to me getting shot, it was just like she was just there. Like it didn't matter if she had to bite my butt. She didn't care. She was just gonna do it. Like she didn't care. She was helping. She was with everything, even down to having visitors. Like I wasn't supposed to have visitors past a certain time. One day she stayed the
Wow.
night. Like she just stayed the night. And if they make me leave, I'ma just leave. But I'ma just try at least. And she stayed and she slept in that bed with me and stayed. So it was just like
Wow.
the little things that showed, the real part of our friendship. So
Yeah.
that was just that. So
That is beautiful. And I appreciate that, especially with social media these days. People
Yeah.
trying to make it look like something that it ain't. So
And it was like we were so different. Like we have different backgrounds. We know different people. You know, our personality is different. We're really different. So it was just like we're really different, but we have so much in common, and we love being around each other. Like we love being around each other. Like we could just be around each other every single day, every single day. And it's like I don't really like being around people a lot. Or sometimes when I got friends, I just be like, "Bah, like can we just take a little break from each other?" We even go to school now with each other. We were roommates freshman year, and now
wow.
sophomore year we're living in a suite again together. So yeah, that's
That
just a
is
little bit about us.
I love that. You know, Isis always got to hit you with these deep questions, man. she she said, if you had 60 seconds to give a message to the person who shot you, what would you say?
I'm not mad. I forgive you.
Mm,
I would say because I feel like now, like in the beginning, I was mad and I was sad, but it was like now, like where I am now, I had to think like, what is him dying going to do, or what is him going to like? What is anything negative happening to him going to do? Is it going to help me be happier? Is it going to help me walk? Like, is it going to help me do the things that I've been thinking about in life? Like, it's not going to benefit me in no way. So why have hate and remorse in my heart towards that person? Like, that's just not something that I was interested in. Even when I was laying on the hospital bed, it was like when the police were telling me they're sorry or they can't do this and they can't do that. It was just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Because it wasn't that I didn't care that this person shot me and got away with it and can potentially do it again. It was just that it didn't hit me hard enough to make me have that much hate and remorse in my heart towards a person, because it's like me having all this hate and remorse towards them isn't going to do anything but just hurt me. How will I heal if I just, hate this person or keep having all this remorse in my heart towards them? So I would just simply say that those two little small sentences.
wow. So mature. I'm telling you. So much. Could, let me say something to him. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a whole lot of stuff I can't say on this live. For real, for real. Ania, baby, I'm sorry. I see you. I must have missed your question. Can you put it back in there? I'm gonna ask your question. So this question is a little sensitive, but Bree is saying, so like a lot of young people are dealing with hurt, they're dealing with a lot of grief, and they don't know how to, deal with the loss. She's saying, can you share some things on how you dealt with the loss of your grandma? Like, what are some things you could share?
Well, I'm gonna be a little real and just say, like in the beginning, I didn't deal with it. Like I didn't deal with it. I tried to avoid it. I tried to not think about her. I tried to not look at pictures of her. I tried to not talk about her. Like if it would be brought up about her, I'd just be like I didn't really want to talk about it. It was something I didn't want to do, and she was cremated. So all my family got like little bracelets or like necklaces with her ashes and stuff. And my bracelet was just sitting on like the thing. Like I didn't put it on for a long time. Like I just couldn't, like, I didn't believe it really. Like, I mean, it might sound like creepy to some people when I would tell them, but it was just like my grandmother not dead. Like, she gonna call me, she gonna talk to me, like, we gonna talk again. Like, I know we're gonna talk again. Like, it was really hard for me to just accept. I couldn't accept it. I had to really, like, think, like, she's really not here. Like, she's really gone. But it wasn't until I got to where I am now, like I said, with God and spiritually, getting better with that, it allowed me to be more calm and look at, like the bright side. Like she's here with me. And a lot of things in my life that I've been witnessing, it's like I've been feeling her, or like feeling like she's trying to talk to me, or, I've been seeing that she's popping up throughout my life. So it's better said than done,
Yeah,
because it's like when relating to God or trying to understand those type of things, it's not really easy for everybody to just catch on to or just grasp. But the advice I would give to those who aren't, too interested in that path or don't feel that it's something easy for them to get onto, I would just say, just try to think about the good things and not necessarily the bad, because it's just like me and my grandmother, we had a lot of arguments and disagreements, but now I don't think about any of those disagreements or arguments that we ever had. I don't think about any of it. Like, I don't think about any times we fussed, any times where I thought she was wrong, any times where she might have told me, get out her face. I might have told her, get out mine. I don't think about any of that no more. I think about all the things she's ever like taught me, or all the good conversations that we ever had, all the good advice. And it allows me to be okay with her not being here with me anymore, because it's just like I know I benefited from her being here, and I'm still benefiting now. So that's just, how I deal with it. And it literally took me, it's been a year since she's been gone, and I've just started to be this comfortable or this okay or this relaxed when speaking on her, because at first it was just like, oh dang, you talking about my grandmother, let me just call her real quick, let me just text her, like she really here, like she's still here. I didn't believe it. Like even when she passed and her funeral and things like that, it was like, I'm not going in there. Like I don't want to see her. I don't want to see. And it was just like I couldn't find myself to accept it or come to the point like, no, this is really happening. And then it's like I had a mom that was different like my whole life. And some people lose their grandmothers who practically like raised them. So it's like I felt like she kind of, helped with raising me. And it was just like I lost like a big piece of me. But like I said, I feel like I'm still benefiting from everything she's ever taught me, like talks we ever had. And I still feel like she's here with me now, like as I'm still learning and growing and going through things. So yeah.
That's powerful. That is powerful. Ania says, even though you was woke when you got shot and even laying in the hospital bed, did you even have a moment of dying? When you was
Yes.
having multiple authors, did you have a talk with Jesus?
Yes, I did. And that's crazy because I was talking to all the people, I was talking to everybody, and I was in his room, and lady like asked me, do I like tea? Do I like lemonade? I'm like, no, I don't like lemonade. Like, I don't like that. I don't like this kind of stuff. She giving me something to like, relax me, make me go to sleep so they can like see my insides and everything. And I'm just talking all these flavors and just chatting. And she just gave me some tea. And I just drunk it. And I'm like, just chilling and resting. And then it was just like I went to sleep. Like I was just gone, like gone. I was gone. I was out of it. And I just seen like a light. I seen it. Like I really thought that was it for me. I thought that was it for me. And it was like when I was on the bed, like the picture that my mom took, when I see that picture, it's just like I was in a coma. And I felt like I was in a coma, but like I wasn't. And everybody was coming to the room, talking to me as I was asleep, because you know how that is, like when the family member or somebody may be sleeping, you're just, just talking and chatting. And it was like everybody was just talking, just waiting for me to wake up. I woke up from my grandmother. Like I woke up from her. She was talking to me. She was speaking to me, and I woke up, and she was right there talking to me, like just easing me, just talking to me. And it was like I thought I was dead. And I woke up from her just talking to me. And it's like even still now, like I just literally never thought about that till now. Like speaking about that right now, it's shocking me because I always feel her. Like I always seem to feel that she's around me or talking to me. And it's like really weird that she was the one that woke me up from that. Like it's crazy how when you just talk about stuff, you just realize for what it really is. And that was just like one of those moments for me. But yeah, she was one of them ones that was just like talking to me. And I woke up from her talking to me because I did feel like I was going, like I had tubes in my throat. I wasn't breathing on my own, any of that.
God.
And it was just like her just talking to me, soothing me, just chatting, really just talking to me like a regular conversation. It just woke me up. And she was the first person that was just talking to me when I woke up.
Oh my God, that is so powerful. Wow. Zion has a great question. So forgiveness is a big issue, especially with young people. Can you talk about how you took the steps to forgive the person who shot you? That's a deep question.
Well, I literally didn't get to the whole forgiveness stage until now. Like I'm kind of working on my stubbornness, I'm working on it. I am a little stubborn. But back then when it happened, it was just like an instant thing for me. Like it was an instant thing. But I felt like I was more so saying it instead of meaning it at first. Like I was just saying it like, okay, it don't matter. But in my head, I'm really thinking like, who did this? Like, how can they get got? Like, how can we fix this? Like, how? I was just saying instead of feeling it. And it was just like, I was realizing how it was hurting me, how it was making me feel. And not just with that, but like with a lot of things in my life. I was just realizing how my actions towards other situations were because of those things that I have never forgave. Like I just forgot about it and just been like, it don't matter no more. Just forget about it. When in reality, it's eating me up inside and making me act a different way in different situations. So it was just like I had to kind of just find myself. And like I said, around my pageant time and everything, I just had to kind of just find myself and just dissect all the things that like I've been through and didn't accept. And like even down to like me and my dad. Me and my dad didn't really have a good relationship. We didn't. All my life I've tried to like, with our relationship. And it was like for a long time, I would say, it don't matter. I don't care. But it's like if somebody talk about daddy issues, I'm crying. Like, why am I crying about something that I just said that I don't care about? So it was like I had to really get to this point where I'm like, I'm okay. Because I know that me being okay will allow us to happen. And if it's meant to happen, it'll happen for us. But just me forgiving and just being okay allowed me to live better and feel more comfortable about it. Like now we could chat about daddy issues. Like we could talk about it. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna get emotional because it is a very touchy topic for me, but it's like I feel okay with it because I know, I tried, I played my part, I did what I needed to do as, the child. So it's just like sometimes you gotta find out like the part you play in the situation and figure out what you can do to change because you can't stress or hurt yourself over stuff that you can't control. So it's like I had to figure out what I can control, and that's me. So I had to take a different approach on things. So that was just kind of how I dealt with it.
Yeah. Wow, that is so powerful. Isis says, how do you let your grandma live through you?
Um, like I said in the beginning, like some people might find this a little weird, but I really look at all the signs around me. Like I look at times, I look at how stuff play out. I look at the little tiny details and stuff. Like I look at everything. I pay attention to everything around me. And not too long ago, well, around March 4th exactly was like a year since the day that we had got the news about my grandma. And one of my friends from school, college, one of my friends from school got me a birthday gift. And the birthday gift that he got me was supposed to come around the time of my birthday, which was the end of February. The gift came the day before the 1 year that we had got the news about my grandma. And it was a gift of me and my grandma. So it was just like when I opened it and when I was crying and I was feeling the feelings that I was had, like I felt like she was there. Like it was like a happy birthday from her, or it was like a hey from her, or like a check from her. And it was like I felt so calm, even though I was crying because I was in so much disbelief. I felt calm and I felt happy because I was avoiding that day. I was telling myself, I'm gonna try to have a good day, I'm gonna try to keep my mind easy. I'm gonna try to just be chill about this day, knowing that I was gonna just be distraught and sad and depressed. But it was just like I was happy that day and she just came and, just helped me out for real. And it's like little stuff like that I pay attention to and I just take as, she's still here with me. Like she's here. And it was like, he was one of the friends that I've met in college that's from a different state, only know me for them 2 little semesters. And it's like, you took that extra mile to reach out to my mom and get a picture of me and my grandma and like things like that. It's like, I know God was in there some way, somehow. Like you just can't tell me that he wasn't. So it's like little things like that I pay attention to, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Like I stand on what I see and what I know. Like people can be like, maybe he's got you. Like, no, I don't care. Like that's my grandmother. That's God. Like I know. I just know. So I just stand on that type of stuff, and that's just how
Yeah, that's real. I love that. Coach Johnson says, you have a very high mental health issues in Baltimore City. How do you overcome, or are you still dealing with it? And what are your coping skills?
Well, I mentioned my coping skills, like God. Like I watch my sermons, I read my Bible app, I do my plans on a Bible web. Like that's my coping skill. And like I said, everybody's is going to be different, especially when it comes to God, because like a lot of questions people have and a lot of understanding. And I feel like I'm still learning. I don't feel that I'm 100% certain with all that I need to know with, knowing about God and like things in the Bible and certain verses and things. Like it's things that I still don't know and I'm still understanding and figuring out. But that's kind of what helps my mental or keeps me calm or, chills me, just, keeping up on that, because it's like I used to worry a lot. I used to be scared of a lot. I used to question so much in my life, but it's like now I just, I have faith and I'm not scared of anything. I don't worry about anything anymore. So it's like now my mental is much different because of those little things. Like it's the little stuff that you don't realize that take a toll on your mind, like being scared of stuff and worrying about stuff. Like I worry nonstop and I'm like so nervous to do certain things, but it's like getting rid of the fear and the worry, it helped me. But it was like through the Bible app and through sermons and things like that that I realized that. So that's just my coping mechanism that I do.
Yeah. No, that's good. I love that. Isis said, in terms of religion, how has your relationship with religion changed from doing things you weren't supposed to be doing in 2017 to now?
Um, Religion is not really my thing. I'm more
Mm,
so relationship. I'm not really big on the religion thing. I'm a relationship. That's me. Because I do feel like God, He welcomes everybody as you are, and I feel like I'm not perfect. I've done some things. I still do things, but I feel like me learning and understanding will maybe one day get me to the religion point. But as of right now, while I'm still learning and still going through the emotions, I'm all just for the relationship part of it. I'm not really worried about the religion part of it.
yeah, I love it. Can you talk a little bit about like what you're doing in school? Like what's your major and what are your plans after Lincoln?
Okay. So my major is health science. I do want to be an anesthesiologist sooner, later in my life. Like I did say, I did the pageant. I do still serve now as Miss 1914 Beta Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So I do still hold that title. Going back to school, I'm a little interested in SGA. And like I did mention before, my little org that I want to do, I plan on doing a little bit on campus because I do feel like me being in my wheelchair, there were some people before me who came to campus in a wheelchair, but I feel like I want to make our campus like one of those campuses, like accessible because I feel like Lincoln was one of the schools that was accessible for me. Out of all the schools I visited, they were accessible for me, like down to the buildings where we got
Wow.
classes, where we live. Like it's good. But I feel having a wheelchair advocate, even though I don't see this as my life forever, it's just like I would want this campus to be set in stone for those soon to come. Like I would like for our school to be, a wheelchair accessible, wheelchair friendly school for people because that is sometimes I feel a getaway. Like college or school period for me is a good getaway because it's like people don't see my wheelchair here. They don't look at me as the girl in the wheelchair, like, okay, yeah, everybody
Mm,
know me as that. But it's just like they don't look at my wheelchair. Like everybody that I met at school, they just meet me like you just met a new person. They don't say, oh, what
wow.
happened? Why you ain't-" like no, it's soon to come, of course, because who isn't curious? But it's like it's genuine. Like I just, it's very family oriented. And I just feel like people who do go through these type of things like wheelchair and stuff, they do go through a lot of depression from just being, restricted from a lot of stuff. And I feel like school and being in an HBCU like that's so family oriented, it's like it could really just help you find yourself and figure some things out mentally, you know. So that's
Yeah.
something that I do feel like I want to do when we get back to school. But that's just a little bit, that I'm thinking about doing when we get back to school, like student government and kind of enforcing, the accessibility thing on campus.
Mhm.
That's just kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, I love it. Has it hit you like how much you inspire other people?
No, no,
You know?
no, like no, literally, a little, like I'm not going to say little girl, she's a little younger than me, but yesterday, a girl reached out to me and she actually wound up sharing her story yesterday. And I was kind of fascinated, I liked it. And we had like similar situations, even though she didn't have a spinal cord injury, she had a spinal issue. And, we shared color ribbons. And it kind of caught my attention because I don't really see that often. So it was just like I was really, happy for her and congratulating her and everything. And she replied back and said, "Thank you, like it was because of you that I was willing to like share my story and stuff." And I was just like, huh? Like I still be like, huh? Like I still be confused when people tell me that because I don't I don't consider myself as of as much value as people, look at me as. And I feel like that's what makes me so I think that's what's so good about me because I don't look at myself like that. I'm not going to say I belittle myself or doubt myself. I do know that I'm good with helping and I do help and reach out. But I feel like me just being so calm and, chill about having, this much about me, it just helps me help people more because I feel like I'm just, it comes off more genuine this way. And I feel like people are more comfortable this way, like just coming to me and talking to me because like I'm a stranger at the end of the day, no matter how much, I may make you feel through social media, like you might know me. And I feel like people feel like they know me sometimes through my social media because it's just like, I'm just me. Like I'm just me. I just be me. And that's how I feel like when I went to school, when I went to college, it was that way because I was just me versus high school being in Baltimore where everybody knows me. They know the old me and how I used to act and things I used to do. It's like, they don't really look at, your growth or your change and look at you for you. It's just like, a whole different image. So yeah.
Wow. So it's a lot of young people in Baltimore fighting a lot of like different demons and situations and stuff like that. Like, what do you say to a person, to a young person in particular, that just feel like the world is against them and like they can't achieve their dreams and goals?
Pray. Who else says pray?
Mm.
Because like growing up, I used to think it was a certain way to pray. Like I thought that you had to like pray. Like if I would pray and like I would like get tongue tied or mess up, I would think I had to like start over, like start my prayer over and like make it perfect and do it right and have my hands and be quiet and close my eyes. And I literally wake up in the morning thanking Jesus for this day. Like my eyes not closed. I'm barely trying to get them open. Like, I'm waking up, I'm up. I'm just thinking it to myself, like, thank you, Jesus, for this day. Like, I just feel talking to him more and like just being yourself when it comes to praying in God, you will see him show up more in your life because you're just being you, like, So that's definitely a tip that I have. And I'd also do feel having somebody who has been through what you've been through, like not in a sense of saying, don't do this and don't do that and go this way, but to have somebody to understand you and help you figure out you and who you are. I feel that helped me the most. Like when I first got shot and I went on the news and everything, social media and everything, it was somebody that reached out to me, and her name is Shav. She reached out to me because she had a similar incident in her younger years, and it was like God showed up in that moment because it was like all my family and everything, they'll tell you, it'll be okay and you're doing so good and you're so strong, but it's just like I don't feel this way. I don't feel like I'm doing this because like y'all don't understand. Y'all don't feel what I'm feeling. Like y'all would never get it. And it's like I would find myself, kind of shutting myself away from them because I felt like they weren't understanding me and they weren't getting me. And I would kind of just shut down with it altogether. And I feel like having somebody that just understands you and just listen to you helps you, because it's like you can sit there and have somebody tell you all day, it'll be okay, or you're doing good, you're doing a good job. But it's like sometimes that's just not enough. Like that's not enough to just keep me going or, let me know that I'm doing the right thing. So I do feel having someone to just, kind of just help you who've been through what you've been through, that could definitely just help you and push you a little bit.
Yeah, that is so important. So, so you mentioned having a business and everything
Mm-hmm.
before the incident, and you want to get back to building a business. What advice would you have for young people who are starting a business? Because a lot of people who are watching now, like teenagers, are like starting their business or thinking about starting their business or building a brand.
Okay, well, first I'm going to start by saying like my mom is really big on that. Like she's entrepreneur
Shout out
savvy.
Jamie.
And that was like not really me. Like I don't like the hassle. I don't like the tediousness of it. I don't like the like you gotta have patience with that business and everything. So it's just like that was never me. Like I didn't like that. I didn't like that whole thing about it having to email and keep everything together. But it was like it taught me to get those things, because even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you have to have those things period when you have a job. Like you have to have patience. You have to know how to work with people, how to talk to people. You're going to have people that don't follow directions. You're going to have people that don't read. So it's just like you gotta know how to work with all of that. And I feel like, having that little break from my business while I'm growing and learning will help me, better my business. So I just feel like sometimes, even though you might have the vision, don't rush it. Don't feel like you owe the people, something, because it's like it's all yours. It's your brand. You want to give the best version of your brand. So I would just say really put some thought into it and like, let it just flow. I don't really, now I don't really plan things in my life. I try to just, let it come to me and let myself, get it together. Not saying that I don't have like agendas or I don't strategize, but I try to not to just like have it all like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like because sometimes it could just change without you even realizing that it just changed. So that's just something that I, would advise to those who want to be entrepreneurs and things like that. It's frustrating. And I personally don't feel that I want to be a really big entrepreneur, but it's nice to have and have be a part of and at least experience, even if it doesn't go well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You're getting so much positive love. People are just absolutely loving you. We never have enough time for this type of stuff. But I got to ask you the one question that we ask every guest mentor, and that is, if you had to leave us with a jewel, like what one thing would you want to leave us with?
Um, well, first my smile. Um, but I would just want to say, well, me, I'm very like transparent. I'm very transparent. Like I feel like no matter what you're going through or how sad it might be you're going through, I'ma always try to find a light in it. Like I'ma always try to find a good in it. I'ma always try to like break it down and make you think about who you are or how can you, better this or that, things that you can control. So the one jewel that I would leave, with everybody is to kind of, you know, put yourself first sometimes. Just think about yourself. Just figure out yourself and who you are. Because I feel like for a long time I was just living and just going with the flow. And I always, known me, like I'm Jordan, I'm this way, I'm that way, but like who am I? And I feel like I had to take some time to myself to isolate. Sometimes you gotta cut friends off, sometimes you gotta break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, sometimes you just gotta be to yourself and figure out who you are. So that's the one gem that I would leave because I feel like that's a lot that people, even grown people, go through till this day. Like they don't really know who they are and they're just going with the flow of life. So I would say don't just go with it. Like live in it. Live your life. Live in your life.
Joanne, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
Lamar
welcome.
is saying you need to be a motivational speaker. I agree, Lamar, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking life to these
You're
young
welcome.
people.
You're
Like, you
welcome.
are really amazing.
You're welcome. And yeah, I need to know about the spiritual Sunday thing. I will join that. I would like to come to that and be a part of
Bet,
that. And my
bet.
mom said hi.
Hey, Jamie. Yo, shout out to Miss Jamie, yo. She got the best mother, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. She got the
She want to
best
be a
mother.
guest now. She want to be a guest now.
Hey, tell her come on. Yo, she need to come on because she need to talk about how is this from a parent perspective. Like,
Hey y'all.
yeah. Hey, yo, look at her, you know. Hey, Jamie, yo, she
She
crazy.
can join another day. She can join another day.
We got you. I'm gonna tell them to DM you. Unless you have
Okay.
if you have an email address that I can share, if you could text me that email address and
All
I can
right.
share the email address, that'd be great. But you are a blessing. I
Thank
thank God
you.
for your life and thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
strength to do what you do. I know you don't think it's a big deal, but it's a
Yeah.
big deal. It's a really big deal. Trust me, baby. It's a really big deal. And I thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll be in touch with you. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your
All right.
weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye. Y'all, what a powerful, powerful, powerful situation. Now, do y'all see why I was so pumped up all week for this interview? Do y'all see how amazing this young lady is? Like, yo, she got wisdom and strength that a lot of grown people are still struggling to find, even with just the whole idea of being forgiven and being understanding and being able to use a tragedy like that to do something still great and meaningful with her life and to not make any excuses. Like, did y'all hear that baby talk? She like, I ain't want nobody to treat me differently. I still wanted to do things on my own. And even with her mom, shout out to Jamie, basically saying like, look, we might not be able to do things the way that we plan to do them, but we still want to do them. We just got to figure out another way to get it done. Like, so next time you feeling like complaining about your situation, put this on the rewind. Go back to this. Y'all make sure that y'all save this video. Go back to this video and reference this video anytime you start to feel sorry for yourself or anytime you start to think like, oh, it's too hard. I got too much on my plate. I can't do it. This, that, and the third. Yo, next time you feel like complaining, yo, rewind back to this because this will get you all the way right. If that's not strength, then I don't know what is, y'all. And I don't know too many people. I probably don't even really know anybody, yo, that can take that type of tragedy and like do something positive with it. Like, yo, that's a superpower right there. That's just a superpower, yo. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And y'all ask some great questions. Like, yo, now y'all see why I was so pumped, right? Man. All right. Well, we only got one more minute for Miss Mo. Miss Mo, Money Mo is coming on here. So I'll see y'all right back in less than 60 seconds. Told y'all we was coming right back. Angel, I see you. You want to give homeless people a mask? Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. You gonna start that as like a business or something, or you want to partner with somebody? Like I think that is amazing. You know who you should get with? I wish Marcus Allen was on this live. Somebody need to get on him. If Marcus Allen was on this live, you could potentially partner with him because he got the now faith. And that would be cool, homeless people walking around with now faith masks. Miss Money Mo on a Friday.
Hey.
What's up? Yo, I'm loving it all black, yo. What's up?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed, yo. What session have I been talking about all week when I've been saying, yo, I can't wait. And it was powerful, yo.
It was.
Just like, you watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, just like how I said it was going to be, yo. Just like how, now y'all see why I was so pumped up, why I kept saying, yo, I can't wait for Friday session, yo. I told, yo, concepts that grown adults are still trying to learn. This baby got it tucked in her heart already. Like, yo, watch what I tell y'all. She's going to be a global leader somewhere on a global stage. Forget just national. That baby going to be global somewhere. Like, that is amazing.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I was just sitting there. I was like, whew. Just like every moment with every like response that she had, I was like, and she was just ready.
Right?
Like, you know, like some people need to be like take a pause or think about it. She was just like,
yo, because she real. And a lot of stuff we got the first look at. Like a lot of, because she was like, it was a few times, she's like, I haven't even shared this with anybody, like a few times. And even talk about her grandma. I'm just like, yo, how much strength, yo? How much strength does it take to be able to talk about those things, be real about them, but then also turn around and help somebody else and give somebody else guidance and support and strategies on how they can cope and go through some stuff. Because we got some heartbeats that's going through it, y'all.
Absolutely.
Like that's going through it. But to see somebody like this, it's like, oh, yo, it's like, come on now. I mean, everybody's tragedy is their own tragedy, but it's like, yo, now you got an example of how you can handle that and how you cannot let that keep you down. Like you can't.
As she was just talking, and then when she was talking about how like she's taking time to like go through her notes and how she found like those notes talking about like possibly taking her, I was like
wow.
I was just like, oh my goodness, like because she's sitting here right now, she's chose life and she's here and she's still like speaking about her story. Like that is just amazing. So
I loved it. And Isis came with all the fire questions. Normal. I mean, everybody else had great questions too, but y'all already know, that's Isis thing, yo. She like Illmatic. She like a baby Nas with the questions.
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, that's her name, Illmatic. Yo, Illmatic, yo, for real, yo, because her questions are like a verse from Illmatic. Like for real. Yo, Chaos Smoothie says she doing something called Selfless Sundays. I like that.
She is. I'm excited for that. Cam,
yeah.
I knew about that, but I'm excited for it. I heard
That's
about
gonna be cool, yeah. And sorry, y'all, for my low participation on the weekends, but that's like the only time where I can do like admin work and stuff. So and have a little teeny bit of time for myself. So if something happening on the weekends, y'all, yeah, it's my bad in advance.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh no,
Yo, poet is knocking on this door, y'all. What should I do?
let it in.
All right.
Let her in. Isis had me cracking up this morning too on Miss Simone's session because of her superhero name. When I tell you I was cackling.
Oh, which one was it?
Teal hot flaming.
Oh, the flaming hot Cheetos, the Funyuns. They weren't even Cheetos, they were Funyuns. I was dead.
I was like,
I ain't never even heard of that. Poet. Yo, you're gonna have to stop getting on here looking so cute, y'all. I love your hair color like that.
She came to please, okay? She came to please herself.
So cute. Yo, Ryan Neal is on this door, y'all.
Let my good brother in.
Yo, anybody watching, do not try to slide in Poet's DM. She ain't with none of that. She here to be successful, not for nothing else.
Absolutely.
There you go, baby Barack.
Hey,
What's up?
Hey, man. What's up with y'all?
Man, we working. We is working. Yo, Taylor said I always got the unique name for somebody. Look, you already know. Illmatic, yeah.
And she be quick with it too. Like she real quick.
Yo, I used to talk about some day with some snacks from last night. But ew, yo, hot, yo, flaming hot Funyuns.
Don't knock it till you try it. Okay.
I'm knocking it. I'm never trying no ghetto mess like that.
Better than mine.
Nah, I'm never trying.
Try it.
That's a little ghetto.
That's a lot of ghetto.
It's just a little ghetto for me. But I'm not gonna say I don't like them. I'm just gonna say, yeah.
You be running around with the flaming hot dust on your face? Like, no, no, thank you.
There's a way to eat them without having the dust on your fingers and just hanging off your face. You don't.
I'll never know.
That's better than mine.
Leave her alone. Leave her snacks alone. She want to eat some flaming hot Funyuns. She can.
That one was
public health professional. Why is you promoting that? Hey, yo, Money Mo, yo, if the public health people watching this, they about to snatch our credentials.
No, they not either. I work hard for that. They ain't taking nothing. Moderation is the key. Moderation. It gotta be moderation. See, ain't nobody gonna snatch nothing from me. All right.
Oh my gosh. I can't take y'all serious. Why you got these ghetto kids on here? What we doing today?
Stop calling Stop calling them ghetto. Amaya, get us started because Miss Joni is playing on this morning.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. I used to talk about something when we meet in person, she gonna bring me some. Don't bring me that ghetto mess.
Don't bring it to her. You can bring it to me.
Money Mo said bring it to me.
You can bring it to me. Don't bring it to her.
Yeah. Or she gonna have Cheeto dust on her body. Go ahead, keep playing.
Don't even do that. Don't even do that.
Y'all, mine was Black Yakami, so I don't know what was better.
Oh, that was just superhero name?
But it's like the morning. Yakami in the morning.
If they ate last
no,
night.
it was dinner.
Oh,
if they ate last night. Not like necessarily.
I never eat breakfast in the morning, so.
Because if I did mine based off of what I ate last night, it would be, or what I like real food that's not breakfast food, it would be black buffalo chicken dip. That's not. That's not.
We never playing this game again. Ma, the general, no more. You get to do no more icebreakers.
It's so ghetto.
We need a nice bougie person to do icebreakers.
Oh my
God.
Squirrels running up in the line in my backyard. Anyway.
Amaya, come back to us, sweetie.
I'm back. I just had to note that because I ain't never seen that before.
You always bring the ghetto, y'all.
Oh my God. This is my first time talking. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, Maya. What's our question today?
Well, the question today is, what is your weirdest habit?
Okay. Don't at me because it's like this is like the number one in the nation, but it still is biting my nails. And like at one point in time, it got so bad to the point where I always used to put hand sanitizer on my hands because it was always just like I don't know, like it was like automatic at times. Like I didn't even know I was doing it at times. And my mother would always catch me doing it. It's like that's nasty. Like it's always stuff that's in your nails and stuff. And I was just like I didn't care at that point. I was just I don't know.
I felt that. I bite my nails, but I'm trying to stop that. But my weirdest habit, I think my weirdest habit would be just like not like I don't want to say that part because it's not usual. Like it's not something that you would see, but I think it's relatable. But I don't want to say it because it's just on that point, that line that you don't cross. You know what I mean? So
I
this
I don't know what to say to that. So how you gonna tell us that you have one? Because I'm guilty of this, saying that I have something or that I have something to tell you, and then be like, "Oh, just kidding. I'll tell you later." I'm definitely famous for that. So you don't want? Is it like something that you like that's inappropriate? Like, do you feel it's inappropriate, or you just don't want to share it?
it's not inappropriate, but like okay, so I have a habit of sitting on the toilet when I don't even have to use the bathroom. Like just sit there. I gotta go.
Where did Miss Jody go?
I was about to shut the computer down,
I am destroyed.
turn all the lights out. This place was about to be. I was about to close the whole studio. Y'all, I'm sorry for this ghetto mess, Miss
But
Money.
wait. I'm curious. So like
No.
And he gonna ask her.
No.
Ghetto.
No.
Go ahead. Go
wait,
done
so
with
like is it just like is like the bathroom a really comfortable space for you or like I don't know.
I don't know. I just think like, cause my room, I don't have like a chair or nothing in my room. So and then sitting on the side of my bed be awkward, cause I'm gonna start sliding, cause my bed real soft. So then I just go sit on the toilet and like write what I need to write, or like sometimes it's a thinking thing for me. Like I get in the shower and just think. I just took a bath 15 minutes ago, and I'm just still in the shower. I'm still in the shower just thinking. Like it's a space for thought for me.
That makes way more sense.
I get it. I do actually get it, but you didn't stress me, Joni, out.
There's literally so
sorry
many
about this.
places, but I don't know. Miss Morgan, go ahead. What's yours?
Okay.
Be my guest.
My weirdest habit is y'all might judge me for this too. It's fine. I take my finger and I put it in my belly button, especially when I'm trying to go to sleep. So yeah.
I can see that. I see that. Like I see that. But like most girls, they go when they go to sleep, they put their hand up their shirt, but you put your hand in your belly button.
I do that. I like put my hand on my shirt because like it's warmer, like some way. I don't know. It just helps me fall asleep.
Oh, and I will comment, John, I bit my nails for like the longest time. That's probably why I got into like getting my nails done consistently. Because it was a bad habit of mine as well. It was a bad habit and a weird habit as well. Miss Joni, what's your weirdest habit?
Or where?
Hey.
Put a chair on your Amazon wish list and send it to us. We about to pitch in and get you a chair. And this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. My weirdest habit is the whole brushing my teeth thing, like all the time. Like, and it's like, I don't know, I'm somewhat obsessed with, like hygiene, especially like my oral hygiene. Like I've never had a cavity ever before. Every time I go to the dentist, he saying how good it is. But it's like, yo, I will break out my toothbrush anywhere. In the office, right before programming, like walking in the hall, in the elevator, like wherever. Like I be driving sometimes, just brushing my teeth. Like that's probably like my weirdest one. The Heartbeats from the Summer program, they snuck up on me one time and was videoing me from the window while I was outside in the parking lot brushing my teeth. Y'all, was so ghetto.
Who got the video?
Because of a car crash.
Nobody. I don't even know them kids no more.
Somebody got the screenshot though, because I seen that screenshot not too long ago. Somebody got.
We don't even know those kids no more. I couldn't even tell you who they are.
Because of car crash, brushing my teeth.
All right, y'all. All right. Let's move to whatever the next part is. I think it's John. John, you up?
Yes.
Okay. Let me.
He got a presentation for y'all. He finna share his screen.
Yeah.
Why he doing that? Can we talk about Ari brushing her teeth with soap?
I'm sorry, what?
Not with soap. Wait a minute, what?
Huh? Exactly. I'm like, am I the only one that see that?
I ain't got the comments open, so
yeah, no, we're gonna
slide past that one because that might just be.
I'm gonna go to the top and I'm gonna go kind of soap. So Kavaya said, I don't think I have a weird habit. I think I just have bad habits. Let me see. Hey Mar said I have a habit of bending my elbows all the time. Bending my elbows all forward then and when I sit down. Bending my elbows all the way forward when you sit down. What is that? Look, that sounds uncomfortable. That sounds really uncomfortable. Let's see. They trying to buy you a chair, Maya. It's the whole campaign right now. Get Maya a chair.
Shut
up. The chair.
Let me see. All right, then here's Ari's. My weirdest habit is brushing my teeth with soap after I use toothpaste.
Y'all should get some toothpaste, not me a chair first off.
Okay, so we're on a campaign to get Maya a chair and to get Ari some more toothpaste because she has toothpaste. Because she says she brushes with it first. Okay.
No,
it tastes good to her. She said, "Don't clown me."
Tastes good.
All right, don't be swallowing the soap, sweetie. As long as you don't swallow it.
Don't do it.
Good.
Don't do it. But I don't know. Isis, hey Isis. Isis said I have OCD about clean dishes. I have to rinse a dish before using it. Same. I have to do that too. Or I feel like the dish is infected with germs or particles. I have to do that too. Like you will wash the dish, put the dish up, all of that, take it out. I have to rinse everything. Cup, plate, fork, knife, all that.
No, I can't do that at a restaurant. I gotta ask for a cup of hot water, dip my utensils and stuff in there, and I can't eat like that.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for sharing y'all weird habits. I don't know who wins. I don't know if Maya wins or if Ari wins, but y'all too.
Right.
All right, John, you ready?
Okay, so today's lesson that I want to give, it's like a sub lesson to Maya's yesterday. It's on exposure. So my breakout question for today is, what is your definition of exposure? I'll go first. exposure to me is anything that's physical or mental that you are just like you've got acquainted to, or anything that you've been surrounded around, basically for somewhat a period of time, where though you got used to it. Maya, you got a definition?
Yeah, I actually have two. My first definition would be like finding that you like something that you've never done before. Like it's totally out of your circle, out of your bubble. Like you don't do it, but you tried it and you seem to like it. Another one is like um having something that you don't tell nobody and now everybody knows, exposure.
Miss Mo?
Just anything that you can see, feel, or touch. Then you would be like exposed to those particular things.
Miss Joni?
Think about exploration and like learning or seeing things that are new, maybe outside of your current perspective, circumstance, or norm.
Okay, so um exposure can be either physical exposure, and that includes like exposure, like an example is like exposure to like toxic chemicals, like you've gotten severely ill based off of exposure to something that can be harmful to your physical being, or it could be mental and emotional, like being exposed to a number of toxic relationships that can make you vulnerable and falling in love easily, or just very, very like susceptible to heartbreak. Um, Exposure can come in generational cycles. That's basically where I identify with it. It can vary within different families. Things like occupations, careers, hobbies, or personalities can be in generational cycles where the parent passes it off to the offspring, either forcefully or just like that's all that they know. So like they just pass it on to you. Um, it could the types of exposure can like affect your development depending on how severe it is, or how much how much the parent gave it off to you. So I'm gonna give like a little bit of an example of how my family like works with it, just to give you an idea. So starting from the top, my great grandmother was in Baltimore City Public Schools. She was in for about, I think, 50 years. So she she kind of gave it off to my grandmother with education a little bit, because like if you like, especially if you're in a Black household and like um you're based off of education, they're going to be 10 times harder on you with it. So like I don't think it was forceful for my great grandmother to push on to my grandmother, but it's something that my grandmother seemed to like to do. So then my grandmother started off as a teacher, then became an assistant principal to a principal, and then got associated with the offices. So while my mother was growing up, she kind of got acquainted with it too, and she had an interest for it. So my grandmother decided to teach her about those different types of aspects that go along with teaching education, or being like acquainted with education. Now, when it comes to my mom, I'm not sure if my grandmother was with this too, but my grandmother put my mother in dance when she was around, I'm gonna say like 6 or 7. So like she had a whole bunch of pageants, and she was somewhat musically inclined too, because she played the violin and stuff like that. So coming down to my sister and me, I kind of got the musically inclined from my mom somewhat, and my sister got the dance portion of it. So like it's kind of like this is a generational thing. It's like a cycle where um it's a common theme in my family to pass down certain traits or aspects within the family, to pass it down, to just keep the theme going. So on the other side here, you have my uncle who got into basketball, and he passed it on to his son, who's in basketball and football and is currently on a scholarship for it. Um, my his other child, his oldest child, 27, is working in Baltimore City Public Schools too. She teaches special ed, and she enjoys that. And my other cousin, she's 1 year older than me, so she doesn't know exactly what she wants to do. But I was just on her live last night, and she was talking about, I was telling her about HeartSmiles and my different types of jobs and stuff. And she said she wanted a job where she could actually go physically, like Giant or Walmart. So like her current track is like the grocery store track, and I think that could take you far, depending on how determined you are in it. But she doesn't know exactly what she wants to do at this point in time. So I say all of this to say, um, one of the reasons why these cycles and these traits continue down the line is because the offspring feels as though if they break those types of values and traditions, then they feel like they're breaking something that's been in the family for years. So I've heard like my friends talk about those types of things, whereas though my my friend that I just talked to about a week ago, she's had a line where her father and her mother played played professional sports, and so did her grandmother, and now she feels as though she's in a position where she wants to do musical things, but it's like she's not really into sports, but at the same time she just wants to, you know, be in with that sports stuff so that she doesn't feel like an oddball in the family. So the first thing I want to say to that is going back to the whole exposure piece. Some families have limited exposure, so like I said, you some parents push it onto their children because that's all they know and they don't teach anything else. So I would just say to that, just don't feel as though that you have to identify with your family at all times. That's not the case. You were born to be your own personal self. Um, just go along with what you want to do. Don't feel less superior than your siblings or your cousins or your mom or anything like that because you want to do something different that they didn't do. And don't, especially because I identify with this, do not let your parents or siblings or anybody in your family push down on you that you are doing something wrong because you're not doing something as important as they're doing, or anything that they've done as a child that they didn't get to do, they're trying to push it on you. Do not allow that to happen at any cost. And yeah, I would just say just make sure you're exposing yourself to different things. And I'm saying this to say, like, with all the young people watching, expose yourself to that now so that you don't grow up feeling like, you know, I could have did this when I was younger, and you fall into that exact same trap of pushing stuff on your offspring that they necessarily might not want to do. So, lesson of the day for me, just expose yourself to different things and try not to fall into that same cycle. Vary yourself with very much different skills. Maya, anything, any experiences or anything you want to add with that?
Mm, I guess something that's passed down through my family is like not being able to give up. Like if you give up, you're seen as like weak or like you're not able to keep a sustainable living. So I got that determination and that um I want to say grit. Yeah, that's word. I got the determination and grit to keep doing what I need to do and to work myself. Work now, work hard now, so that I can work smart in the future.
Miss Mo?
Well, thank you, John, for taking us through your family tree because I like this particular visual that you used. So yeah, I think I agree with you when I say like some people have like something that they they just know, like that limited exposure. So that's like all that they can kind of pass down, or all that they can teach. And then some people, you know, kind of have that like they push their particular things on you, and that may be for a couple of reasons. I feel like with my grandparents, on both sides of my family, I feel like my grandparents like lived a certain life, didn't have like a whole bunch of money, especially like on my father's side, like they were living in South Carolina, like in the middle of like nowhere, low key. um and they gave birth to 9 kids. And so they ended up like moving here, and again didn't have a whole bunch of money, but they wanted their kids to kind of do better than they did, or be better off than what they were. And I wasn't there, you know, I don't really know exactly what my grandparents were telling like my father and his siblings, but I know that they were like, no, like you need to get your education, and a lot of them definitely pursued that route, and then like worked and all of that. And I think that fell onto me, well, fell onto like my parents' union, and then fell onto me as well. Education has always been like a theme, just kind of in my particular family, like my aunts, um, my father's like sisters are were like principals, and like administration for schools at one time. My mom was a guidance counselor, things like that, and like all college educated. So in that particular with that particular theme, it kind of fell onto me like go to college. Like it wasn't really, I remember one time I was like, "Mom, I'm not going to college." She was like, "You're not going to where?" And I was like, "I'm not going." And she was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, and she was like, "Exactly, you're going to college." So I feel like it probably wasn't too much of an option, and it kind of just came. That's just what I've been exposed to as far as like the education piece.
I agree with you, Miss Mo. Uh, I can kind of see your mother in my head because that's exactly how my grandmother was. And it's just amazing to me how, like, my family is mostly women, but at that drive, at that heart, I just realized that women is the people who really earn the most, not such as work wise or money wise, but as in stability, raising the house, etc. My great grandmother is one of 14. Um, then she took herself, she only went through high school, she did not go to college. She took herself and raised 8 kids, two of which are my mother and my uncle, because my grandmother was dealing with mental problems after my grandfather had passed away. And so to be strong to deal with 8 children and to deal with my grandmother and her mental um, changes is really a strong woman for me, as well as her mother who birthed 13 children and dealt with 13 children as well. So that sense of strong strong woman is who I really want to be. That's who I admire to be, and I feel as though that had that had a space in my heart as well as a space of me growing up, because I really look up to them and I want to strive to that excellence of being that powerful and being that headstrong.
Ms. Joni, before you go, I just want to say, I just think it's really, really funny as to how, like, you can have things that go on in your family or different traits that are just passed around, but it doesn't go generation by generation. Like, my grandmother, like I said, was dealing with education, but also it passed on to my cousin, and we all grew up pretty much in the same household. So, like, pretty much during my early years, we were all in the same household, so we kind of got like that same type of experience. But I think that it's just like it's really really funny how it doesn't go generation by generation. Because when you think about stuff like biology, it kind of makes sense. Because like sickle cell anemia, like stuff like that, it starts off with someone that has it and then goes to a carrier, and then it might end up with the offspring of the carrier having it, but like the carrier doesn't show dominant traits in it. So like I guess it sort of works like that, but I just think that's really crazy. So Ms. Joni, can you go and then maybe some questions?
Yeah, sure. So, just for me, like, just thinking about this whole thing, like, I saw a lot of things that, like, I didn't want to be. So, like, when I think about, things that I may have inherited from my family, like, if you ask me, I'd be like, man, the only person I inherited something really was from my mom. And that was really just her attitude of, I'm not making any excuses, I'm not accepting no handouts, and I'm going to get it done. In terms of like education and stuff like that, like I didn't have any role models at all, telling me go to college and education is important and all that kind of stuff. You kind of knew just on the back of your head because, regular slogans and stuff like that. But I didn't have a concrete example to show me how to be successful through education. I understood how to be successful through hard work, and just thinking about like those generations and stuff. My sister was the first one to get her college education, and my mom actually got her degree after she pushed my sister through school because my mother wasn't playing with my sister. My sister is the youngest one. It's me, my brother, and my sister. And my mother wasn't playing with her. Even when she got pregnant at an early age, my mother was like, nope, you going to school, you going to college, and like really didn't give my sister any choice, which was a good thing because then, for us, that set the tone for our next generation. So now, like my nieces and nephews, which is my brothers and sisters' kids, they are college bound. My oldest nephew, he's in college right now. My niece, she's receiving all types of scholarships and college offers and stuff like that, and she's about to go into her senior year. So if my mom hadn't a push like that, then who knows if my nieces and nephews would even be thinking about college or that would be an option for them. But she do tell us stories all the time about our great great grandparents, which was her grandparents, and she said that um, my great great grandfather, he was an entrepreneur, so he bought land that's still in my family now for that purpose, for that land to still be in our family. And I'm like, okay, I can relate to that mindset, leaving a legacy, leaving something. And she was like, he didn't work for nobody, he worked for himself. She was like, he used to have his dress clothes on underneath of his overall. So he'd be working on cars, doing house jobs, all that, whatever, and then go to the bank and get his money. And I'm like, okay, that's where my bloodline come from. Skip everybody else.
Yeah. Um, any questions before I turn it over to Maya?
I don't think so.
No, you got questions. Mars said, John, do you have some of your father's side or only on your mother's?
I can explain like a tiny bit of my father's side. So um when I first so when I say I'm musically inclined, I mean like I rap a little bit. So I first started to do it around like around this time last year, around like July of 2019. So I when I got to Poly, it was like it was a group called Floetics, and I was really into it. But like my parents and my father, he was a librarian at the time. He was like that ever since I was born, pretty much. So when I first introduced to them, like I want to be a rapper because like I was really passionate about it. I still am, but it's like it was fresh, so I was like, I want to do it. So when I first introduced it to them, they was like, what? Like like you want to be a what? Because like all they knew was education. Like librarians are just focused on education. Teachers are focused on education. Like my mother's parents, and I think my father's mother, my grandmother, they were all focused on education. So all that was in the family was education at the time. So they was really just they were kind of like really uptight about it. So I say that to say it's just like they tried to push some of that onto me. And as I got like more mature with it within the past few months, I was just like, you know, I kind of understand it. I really think that they should have been supported from the beginning, but I kind of understand it because it's like that's all you knew and that's all you think it should be. That's your mindset, but it's not mine. So you can't push that onto me, and I won't allow it to be pushed onto me. But yeah, that's just a tiny bit about my father's side. He was like into education as well as my mom and her family.
John, I'm gonna kind of speak on a little bit of what you just said because I think people, well, thank you for sharing that, but also like I think people underestimate like the strength of the pushback, if that makes sense. Like when you're not, when you're a child or you know in a generation like under someone or a couple generations under someone, and like you said, that's all that they know, so they're like not even thinking of any other pathways. It's hard for that particular child or that particular young person to be able to convey what they mean and why they're doing it, and the pushback is crazy. Like I feel like I have experienced that, and then I am experiencing that right now, just kind of like I was going on one path and now I'm like extremely passionate about another path, and it's not traditional. It's not traditional looking. It's not, it's not like number one after number two and after number three. Like it's more like a maze that you kind of don't know how to navigate. So trying to convey that to like people that are older than me, even starting like in majoring in like public health, because people are like, oh, you want to be a doctor? And I'm like, no, no, I don't want to be a doctor. Oh, you want to work in a hospital? No, no, I don't want to work in a hospital. And they be like, well, what are you going to do? What is that? And I'd be like, okay, chill. Like, you don't have to like, you know, take away you know, kind of like the feeling that I feel about public health. And that's just one of many examples. But yeah, being able to like have strength and like telling people like what you want and why you want to do it. And then also having to deal with, you know, them possibly rejecting you and pushing you out for it. Don't underestimate that kind of strength that you need in order to do that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna say this one last thing. I'm gonna let you get to it, Maggie. But I think it undermines a person because I did have some sort of thoughts when they like doubts within myself. When they first started pushing back on it, they was like, you know, like I don't think, like you know, they was like, you can't get a scholarship off of that, and then they was like, you know, you can't like, you know, like they were really pushing back on it, and I was like, it made me feel somewhat discouraged because it's like, you know, I want to do this. Why can't you just be on my side as my parents, even though you have your own personal thoughts and feelings about it? But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Maya, I'm gonna let you get it.
I think that you was doing a great job. I agree. I think we have the opportunity to do what we want. Not that they didn't have the opportunity to do what they want, but this society is way bigger now with the advance of technology and etc. I also think that doing this pushback can inspire others. Like when I said, like as a child, I said I wanted to be a doctor. I've been saying I wanted to be a doctor, and my older cousin, who is like I said older than me, she didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. But me being so sure in what I wanted to do with my life, she said, I'm gonna get on the train with you. So now she's in college studying to be a doctor as well. And I'm like, you get it, you go for it, because I'm coming up next. That's all. That's it. I also agree with the genetic side because I do think it skips generations. Like, not that this is the like my great grandmother. She got. Let's give an example. My great grandmother has freckles. My grandmother got freckles. My mother got freckles, and then me. Just plain face. Like I do think it skips that that type of um that type of generational line. Like it skips people, and I also think that it does that on purpose. It knows what it's doing. It knows the destiny of people. I know that it's skipping for a reason, not just to say that somebody is bad because they don't have this thing or don't have that trait from their parent or anything. It knows what it's doing. It has a plan for whoever that it skips or goes to. Any wrap up information or statements that anyone would like to make? John, Miss Mo, Miss Joni?
You definitely got to make sure Baby Barack show us his talent, because there's no way in the world we just want to skip over the fact that he's being called the lyrical genius. We just can't skip over that.
Go stress.
You gotta bless us. You gotta bless us.
Here's the thing. I'm like, I'm based off of, I can like, okay, so freestyling is not my forte at all. But like, if I can actually sit down and just write, and I just have all these thoughts going through my head, because that's what I have a lot. I could really just like, I could get it for you, but yeah, I just got.
You ain't got nothing that you done wrote already that you can let us
Go
hear
pull
real
out
quick.
the book. I know you got a book. Go pull out the book.
You know he got the spiral notebooks.
Right.
Yeah, that's why he's laughing.
Yo, you know.
Book. Not the book.
You gotta bless us.
The book.
That's the see. You said it. That's
No, because Kamai, I see a comment. I'm so serious. Like, freestyling is not it.
you don't
Like,
have
I'm so serious.
Ooh, you ain't got freestyle, but give us something. We know you got.
one thing that you already wrote.
Everybody done did a cover rap.
It could be like 15 seconds.
I'm gonna give you this one bar.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta promise to go. You
Huh?
gotta promise to go after I give you this one bar.
Who?
I want you to
It's Joni.
Hey, watch this. Watch this.
I pull out the DJ. Take it.
The Cat in the Hat. All right, go ahead.
No, I gotta go.
It's about to be back.
Yo.
No, you gotta put
Right
a first.
here.
No, like y'all gotta let me write. I'm so serious. I can get it to y'all if y'all let me write.
You got notes.
Did you just say the Cat in the Hat?
Right.
The Cat in the Hat.
Is that really what
Yeah, and we supposed to finish it. So
You
the cat in
gotta
the hat. You gotta come back.
I hit it with a bat.
Not like that.
But that's just facts.
No, that was really whack.
This is so ghetto every time.
I did not.
Bring them
I
notes
know
out.
part.
Where's them notes?
I did not have any parts in this.
Maya said she about to fight you because she apparently has heard some of this stuff. And
Where?
Look at his face.
Where?
rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. How dare you?
All of that is archived. So where?
Wow, Baby Barack.
You can't do
Wow.
this.
I'm going to email Big Barack. He would not be happy. And Lene, we want to hear your new poem too. Big Barack would not be happy.
Okay. All right. So can we hear it sometime?
Definitely when I get to write.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I guess.
I guess.
Back to the ghetto we go.
No.
Tony, don't look at me like that, Joe.
Back, because I know you powerful, and it would be a whole blessing right now. Like, yo, I already know we would feel it in our souls. I can tell how deep you go. I can tell.
I probably should have came to the talent show, but you know.
Would have killed it. It would have been a massacre.
The massacre.
That would have been a quick $100 because they basically gave everybody $100. That's how much talent it was. That's how much talent we was working with. Everybody who like could have won first place, they basically gave him the first place prize. You could have had $100.
I ain't gonna do it.
Okay. It's all right, y'all. John, next time you're with us, you have to share. So, oh, now he not gonna want to be on those sessions. He ain't
Right.
gonna say no more.
Oh, I'm gonna come back on. I
Oh,
promise.
he's coming back out. We gonna fry him up.
Okay.
I'm just
We was about
playing.
to
We
fry
like
him this
this.
morning.
Oh,
We was
we
about to fry him
sauteing
this
you
morning.
until we get that. Yeah, we sauteing you just like that.
We was about to fry
Somebody mute Kamaya in these comments because I can't.
Yeah, that's right. Speak your truth, Kamaya. Speak your truth.
She is
Got
vouching.
time to play Fortnite, but can't.
Nope.
But don't want to sit down. Yeah, speak your truth, Kamaya.
Now she exposed. Wasn't that just a lesson? Exposure?
The best friend. Ain't that the best friend in the
That's
comment?
the best part.
Exactly. Holding him accountable. That's how she's supposed to do it. You never know who watching. Baby Barack out here playing games.
It's so ghetto. It's just so ghetto.
But Lene
Tired of
said,
y'all this
when can
word.
she
Get
share
a
her
new
poem?
word. Get a new word.
When can
What?
she share a poem?
The ghetto?
Yeah, get a new word. I'm tired.
We can't say the poverty. Lene want to know when she can share her poem, y'all, because y'all is playing.
Lene, get on here now.
Yeah. She's like, save me.
She just want to out.
Come in the clutch. Come in the clutch.
She's like, save me. Come on, Lene.
Come on, Lene.
I'll hop on here.
Oh,
We
man.
start writing again and sharing poems because we didn't share the poem almost half the week.
I told you supposed to bring back out that poem the last time, yesterday on part 1. What happened to that? Remember we was talking about you was gonna bring out a writing piece? What was that at?
Hold on. Let's not do that because we had a conversation. And I said I can do it if you would like me to. I can write
Say
something
yeah.
if you would like me to.
Say
And you
yeah.
said you said
You have to write too, huh?
huh?
You have to write too.
I'll find something. I'll do it.
You
If
do it?
if y'all want me to, I'll find something. It's gonna be old, but I can find something. It's not a poem either, but it's something.
I might try poetry too. I don't know.
Where's Lene at though?
Where is Lene?
Is she coming on right now?
She just not. We got her.
Okay, cool. She can read hers, and by then, hopefully, I'll have something.
Lene.
Hey, Pac.
Do you call her Pac?
Hey, Pac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lene, do you see this ghetto-ness in this call?
Kamaya, like, I'm holding him accountable.
It's
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to do. When your friend is great and they hiding it, expose it.
Yeah. By the way, I got like 3 toddlers in here, so I'm sorry if they just like barge in here. I've been kicking them out all day.
It's all good. It's all good. We know you
Mom.
channeling your inner Tupac.
Can you keep the kids out? I'm talking to Miss Joni, please. Thank you. I said, can you keep the kids out? Talking to Miss Joni.
The ghetto, y'all. The ghetto. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay. All right, y'all ready?
Yes, your ambitions of a rider.
It's called Stranded. Okay. Okay. Bold, beautiful, black, strong. When you take a picture for them, you sing a different song. Weak and uneducated. It's simply what they want me to be. Holding on to hurt is just a tragedy. Bold, beautiful, black, strong. I look into the night sky as the day grew long. Fell deep in my thoughts, stranded in this mindful universe. Seeing the news, asked myself, could it get worse? Bold, beautiful, black, strong. Being told by adults my ideas are wrong. Wondering what it is about them. But why should I worry? I need to be the best for my next kin. Bold, beautiful, black, strong is the only thing I want to put in my song.
Fire, yo. I love it. I love it. I really think you and Poet should do like a poem together where it's like, y'all like
talking.
battling a little bit. Yeah, yo, that would be hard. Like y'all completing each other's sentences. That would be hard.
That would be fun.
I'm trying to tell
But like
you.
I said, I'm still rusty. Okay, still
I
rusty.
can't tell.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
think that
rusty.
would be good because I've done that before. So, but it wasn't with it was a it was the okay, it was with a male. So I think it would be good to see the female connect.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially if y'all have a strong topic. Yeah, no, that was good, yo. You good.
I like to keep them like short, but like still present, like short and presentable.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, when I be reading poems like in school, because we have like this thing in English where we have to like, if we get like a substitute, we read like poems. And I'll be like, why it gotta be so long? And you be lost. Like you don't ever be getting a topic when they're long and they just be talking about random stuff. So that's when I write poems, that's where like to keep the image straightforward.
Most of my poems be long. I just gotta keep on to the same topic because like once I get a topic in my head, I can just go on and on and on. And most of the time, people will understand what the poem is
Right.
about. The beginning might be a little shaky, like yesterday when Miss Joni
Oh
made the
yeah.
content, but but it all came together, and in the end, you all do what I was trying to portray.
Right.
We should end up doing like an event that's where like it's like The Voice, but it's like it incorporates everything.
I'm actually doing that on my poetry page.
Like just like HeartSmiles sponsored, like something like that.
Hey.
I'm starting to do a next Sunday. I'm gonna be doing some. I'm calling it Service Sunday. Um, kind of like a substitute for like when people like think about church and service Sunday. It's kind of like a poetry and musician side of my service Sunday. So it's gonna be a collaboration between different musicians, poets, etc. And then we're gonna have special guests that will present as well. So that's coming up next Sunday.
That's awesome. Chaos Smoothie said, make sure y'all joining the talent shows too.
Oh
That's
well.
easy money.
I'll be there
That's,
next time.
that's easy money. Y'all, our time is up though. Why we need y'all jewels.
Oh, Miss Mo, you go first this time.
That's fine. So mine is make your greatness as beautiful as your actions and more visible than your brokenness.
Mine will be don't be discouraged by something you don't have. Be uplifted by something you can do and bring to this world. Yeah. So if y'all want to be joined in the service Sunday, please hit up my poetry page, poetic.satisfactions. See y'all later.
I would say just don't let people control you. Don't let others I would say don't let others like opinions affect how you move on the world, affect how you see the world. Um just be your own person. Like that's what you were put on this earth to do. Not to follow your parents, not to follow your siblings, cousins, none of that. You are meant to be your own person. So go out and do that. And that's every minute, second, nanosecond of the day. Just do you.
Okay, now I'm gonna go with my little first jewel ever. Um, based off like, you know, how you feel in your heart, do you. Don't try to be like everybody else. And don't try to impress people just because you want to be impressionable. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much. Powerful jewels, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. This was a great session, even though it was extremely ghetto. It was a really good session.
Hold on, Miss Jonah, give me 1 second because Mar and Cam gonna fight me if I don't say this. Our
Oh,
is tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So make sure that y'all join our voice. If you want the Zoom link, hit up one of them. So yeah.
Okay.
Bet,
Oh.
bet. All right. Well, y'all have a good weekend, man. Miss Mo, I'll see you on Monday.
See you Monday.
Y'all too. Thanks for the daily ghetto-ness.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Leave. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.
Okay, so we can now say that John is the biggest ghetto in this group today. Okay, bye.
Crazy, y'all. Crazy. The ghetto, man. But look, another great day, man. Success sessions. Yo, thank you. Y'all are crazy. But look, guess what? We done for the day. We are done for the day. Everybody make sure that y'all send positive vibes to Miss Caitlin because she had to cancel a session today. Fortunately, because she's taking a big test for her PhD program. It's some type of exam, but it's very serious. So drop her some hearts in her DMs or whatever. You know, I know that you're sending positive vibes her way and all that. But yo, you already know what it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, yo, success sessions, yo. You want to learn, this is where you come. You want to grow, this is where you come. You want to be successful, this is where you come. For everybody that's joining us tonight for Focus Friday, we are going to settle that beef once and for all. We're going to kill it. We're going to kill all the noise. The Biggie versus Tupac. That's what we're doing tonight. So if you come in for any other reason, do not come because that's what we're going to settle tonight. Biggie versus Pac. We absolutely have to. So Chaos Smoothies, send me my bill for the smoothies. Let me know my total so I can pay my bill for the people who order smoothies. And yo, go ahead. See, starting already. Talking about some pot. Yo, hey, y'all. We gonna settle it tonight. Y'all, it's crazy. Do something productive in the meantime, and we're gonna have a whole lot of fun on Focus Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see y'all later.